Theory creaking open, baby.
Yo, welcome to the screen where the plot gets bent. Julie B deep dives, not just for content. She don't react, she dissects those threads from the lens, catching clues y'all missed when the credits end. What you know about freeze framing frames and while you blinking, she building an evidence drum. Got a notebook thicker than the lore itself, and a chat full of nerds with a mental health shelf. Yeah, she sees the glitch, peep the double cross. You just watching TV, she talk to the boss. Every theory and thesis, no throwaway guess. While y'all on season 1, she in season 8. Said rewind and slow it, zoom in, enhance. Julie B caught the symbol in the window glance. While you tweeting what just happened like a clown, she already made a flow chart, color-coded breakdown.
They don't die like us, they don't vibe like us. They binge and they bounce, we revive that trust. They skip intros, we wear it frame. You watch shows, we decode the game. They don't die like us, nah, they don't die like us.
She cracked Severance before y'all knew it was deep. Predicted the Last of Us deaths in her sleep. When the camera pans, she ain't blinking once. Catch a ghost in the glass, call it theory punch. Watch parties lit like apocalypse nights. Call-ins while they bringing alien rights.
Hey, Julie, I think the trees are spies. Well, I have a spreadsheet that confirms that, guys.
Zoom in, boom in, she moving through clues. Spinning Discord in the courtrooms, Lord of views. Got mods with receipts. Time stands with heat. Every rewatch turns into a Reddit elite. You stuck on the surface, we beneath with maps. Cross-referencing lore with the rector's caps. If your fave show got secrets, don't be dumb. Julie got the chalkboard out in Frum's where it's from.
They don't dive like us, they don't vibe like us. They skim the edge, we inside that crust. They zone out, we zone into pain. You say plot twist, we say nope, chain. They don't dive like us, nah, they don't dive like us.
What's that?
That ain't a blooper, that's a plot thread. You thought it was a shadow? She thought it was a coded message from season 3. And she's probably right. Step this way if your mind's unbent. Step that way if your theories pay rent. Say Julie B, deep dive queen. Now zoom, scroll, theorize, pull. Ain't no rabbit hole safe once she got the cloud.
They don't die like us.
Hey guys, it's JulieBDeepDives coming to you with a deep dive into Stranger Things 5, Chapter 2, The Vanishing of. The mysterious title, of course, because Netflix didn't want to give away exactly who was going to be vanishing in this episode. This goes back to the callback to, of course, season 1 with the vanishing of Will Byers, and in this case, now it's Holly. It's Holly Wheeler. So unexpected. That's not something I ever saw coming when it came to this season. Little Holly Wheeler having such a major role given to her after being in the background, kind of just set dressing this whole time. Just the kid sister. The only memorable thing I can remember about Holly this whole time was that one scene in season, I think it was, it was that one scene in season 1 where she was getting a little too close to a wall that had kind of manifested a weird portal into the Upside Down, and Joyce found her in that room looking at that bedroom wall and freaked out, thinking that it's somehow a threat, even though she didn't know what it was at the time. And she had heard like Will's voice coming out of it earlier and stuff like that. That's all I remember regarding little Holly Wheeler. That was the most memorable moment I think she had up until this season, to my recollection anyway. So yeah, this was unexpected. I think it's a cool twist. I liked how they they kind of took us back to square one and brought it full circle with the disappearing of a new child. And and it's out of left field, even though it's bringing us back to a familiar theme and coming around full circle. It's at the same time, it's out of left field because, why is this happening? The kids they think they have this all figured out, and they don't. They don't understand like why this would have been done. Why was this a goal, to take Holly randomly after they've been the targets this whole time? 11 is the number one target of Vecna, and it just makes no sense to them. And it's still mysterious now. I mean, we're only going to be covering episode 2 tonight, even though we've got 4 episodes that have aired so far. And so I'll be curious to hear what your theories are as to why do you think Holly was taken? Why was she targeted? Why now? Does it matter that it's Holly in particular, or was it just any child important to this group of kids who needed to be targeted? Or is there something special about Holly? Because we know now that there was definitely something special about Will, and he was taken for a reason, for sure. I'm certain of that. Now, Holly, she just might be an innocent bystander. Like, okay, we're going to target her because she's important to this group of kids. And, we need to hurt them. We need to distract them from their purpose, which is to defeat Vecna. They've gone all out in a militaristic kind of way this season with really well coordinated crawl campaigns, with Hopper searching for Vecna, inch by inch in the Upside Down. So they probably, I can only say at this point, it's probably a distraction technique. It's just a way to throw them off their game, to throw emotion into this, just to, once emotions kind of cloud your view, it's very difficult to be methodical in acting even really well thought out plans like they've been enacting. And we see that play out in this episode with Nancy unraveling at the hospital. Because not only was Holly taken, but her parents were brutally attacked within inches of their lives. Whether or not they survive is still up in the air. Although I would be willing to say that, if they weren't killed yet after those brutal attacks, they probably will make it. That's the way it kind of works in shows like this. This isn't a soap opera where someone will cling to life in a coma for a long time and then eventually, oh yeah, now they die. It's like, okay, they had their opportunity to kill off Nancy's parents in brutal, incredibly dramatic fashion, and they didn't do it. They're both still alive. So I suspect they'll probably, make it. They'll probably make it in the end, but this will throw Nancy off her game. She's a key component to the team. And, so there's that, so not only are they looking for Vecna, now they have to look for Holly too. And they have to, contend with the emotional upheaval of Nancy's parents, fighting for their lives. The father in an induced coma, the mother, just barely conscious and not able to really speak. So yeah, interesting twist. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the return of Henry. Didn't see that coming. I thought that was cool. I didn't think we'd see Henry with his Henry face on again, not Vecna face. I still don't really understand how he's manifesting in this way. The way that he used to look before 11 cast him into Dimension X, and turned him into Vecna. It's odd, because he's, of course, Mr. What's-It. He's the mysterious so-called imaginary friend who abducted Holly. And that was an awesome reveal. I mean, I figured obviously that Mr. Whatsit was going to be somebody from the Upside Down, but Henry, that's unexpected. I know, I don't know, maybe this is just like a projection of Vecna's consciousness. He's not really there. It's not really Henry. That's the only way that I can explain it. It's not his physical body. He's a projection that Vecna sent out to, to bait Holly. And, of course, he's invisible to everyone but Holly. So there you go. You had that eerie moment where Holly was talking to nobody. She's standing there having a conversation. Her teacher oversees her doing this, and there's nobody there. So it's like he's like a projection in her head that Vecna is perpetrating from the Upside Down. So yeah, I guess I just answered my own question in that way. But it's still trippy to see him like that. So I thought it was cool how they were able to integrate the actor into the show in his original form before becoming Vecna. Anyway, so say hi to the chat. I wanted to start earlier, but unfortunately, it just, with my pain management needs, it just didn't work out, unfortunately. One of these days, I'm going to start one of these a lot earlier, but today was not the day. So we'll make the best of it. It's not going to be a super long live. It's going to be, I'm going to shoot for around 2 hours for self-care reasons. So see how much I can live up to that. Maybe 2.5 if things go well enough for me. So we'll see. Hey there, Doc. Nice to see you. I hope, I had to postpone and roll back the start time of the live a few times. So I don't know if there were any other comments in here that got erased. So apologies if anyone commented and you don't see it in here, because it's not me doing it. It's YouTube. Sometimes postponing the start time erases messages automatically. But hope you're doing well tonight, Doc. He was watching as I kept rolling back the start time. I appreciate how much you care and your interest and your patience with it all. And that goes for everybody who hangs out and watches, even when the start time has to change due to my pain and my health situation. Hey, Dieter. Nice to see you. Hey, Amy, Pixie Vine TV. That is her new channel where she does gaming content. And I see she's been doing a bunch of that. She's hit the ground running with that. And so I hope it's all going well for you, Amy, and you're enjoying yourself. And it's awesome to see. So keep it up, and feel free to drop your link in here anytime so people can find your channel. We can keep trying to grow your sub count. Dieter said tomorrow. Scarl? Who's Scarl? Scarl is doing a Rob Reiner tribute party I'm going to stream. Just waiting for Scarlett. Oh, Scarlett. Okay. For Scarlett to choose the hour. I believe it was 11 p.m. Eastern. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Well, I may need to do a live again tomorrow. We'll see. Stay tuned on that, because I'm looking at the calendar and we don't have much time. We've got to do lives on let's see, chapters 3 and 4 of Stranger Things, and we've got to do a live on the latest episode of Pluribus in the next few days, and the premiere episode of Fallout as much as we can. So we're gonna do what we can, but that's cool. That's a really nice idea to do a watch party. And what happened with Rob Reiner was just horrific, and I can't even fathom what the family is suffering right now. I was devastated to see the news. what a loss to the world. His activism, his work, his body of work. I mean, I could go on and on about that, but I'll leave it there. Let's see. Doc said, I have to watch the new Pluribus instead of the live. Scarlett asked me to join a trivia live last night, and I forgot about the new episode, and now all of social media is trying to spoil it on me. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta get on that before you get spoilers for sure. Don't worry, no spoilers here. I you know, I'm not gonna discuss any of that in this live. The most we'll do is just discuss what night we might do a live to cover that episode. That's it. But we're not gonna get into the episode details, so you're safe here. Mainly I want to do it early in the week instead of waiting till the last minute before the Pluribus finale next week. I'd really like to knock that out maybe Sunday night or something. So that's what I'm thinking. We'll do. That's just spitballing right now. That could change depending on how I feel, but I'm thinking like maybe 10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night. We could break down the penultimate episode of Pluribus. And I also started working on a video today. Just the beginning, the beginning notes for a video on just my overall, theories and ideas about the show heading into the finale. And that's consistent with the most recent episode too. So I just wanted to finally get a video out there, really just encapsulating my ideas about the show outside of a live stream before the season ends, because it's a superb show, something that I wanted to do for a while now, but I just wasn't feeling up to it. And if I had been in better health, I definitely would have been doing theory videos and episode breakdown analysis every week on this show. But I figure at least I can get one solid video in before the finale and then another one after the finale to analyze that and what could be to come in the future, because I'm sure it will be renewed for a season 2. And yeah, so I'm determined to get a video out, and hopefully it won't take me long. So maybe in a few days from now, you'll actually see a scripted video. I haven't done one on this channel in months, so it's long past time. I really need to get back to doing that. And I have a lot of ideas to share, so it's going to be kind of hard to keep it concise. Since I haven't made any yet on the show, I have a lot of stuff that's been storing up in my head and accumulating this whole season. So yeah, that's going to be tricky. It'll probably be a long video. It's going to be a long deep dive into Pluribus. Anyway, Doc had said he was going to mute on here until it's done and pregame for an hour before watching it. Okay, gotcha. Well, we'll be around a while. You might have even finished watching it by now. That was a while ago. Doc said I sub to all these streaming services, and it's better to give them the views and easier to follow this way. I'm not sure what that was in response to. I think it was something to do with, it was Dieter offering to put it on, to stream it for Doc. Gotcha. Okay. Hello, Susie. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Debbie. Nice to see you. Debbie, late night appearance in the chat. That's rare. Just dropping a like and some love. I've not seen the new season yet. Well, thank you so much for the support and the love. Much appreciated. Hope you're feeling well tonight. And thank you for the well wishes. I'm not doing too badly tonight. I'm feeling okay right now. Wrapping up a walk at the moment while I'm talking to you, and So, I'm hanging in there. And I do recommend checking out Stranger Things, but if you're not caught up with up to season 5, then definitely you're going to want to catch up first, Debbie. Let's see. And there's Amy's channel that Doc posted in the chat for awesome music right there, Pixie Vine TV, and gaming lives that she does. Debbie said she finished her piece about From today. It's called To the Victor. It won't go up on YouTube until maybe mid-January or February, but look forward to a giant peach. Awesome. Part 2 will be Jaded Proclivities. Nice name, Debbie. I like it. Awesome. You're so creative. Obviously, Victor and Jade are my favorites. Yes, that was pretty clear. Let's see. Hi, Scarlett. Hope you're doing well tonight. Nice to see you. Let's see. Debbie's still up because she was just finishing that piece of artwork. Oh, okay. Yeah. Once I get in a groove with something creatively, it's hard to stop until I'm done too. So I totally get that. Scarlett said I need to take a Christmas shower, so I might not be here long. A Christmas shower. Okay. Christmas is next week, so you might want to take a few more. No worries. Debbie said I'll be listening until I fall asleep and rewatch Gang tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for the support. As always, thank you, and shout out to the replay gang. It really does help a lot, especially when I have to do lives really late at night sometimes. It helps a lot. I see the numbers go up, and I see everybody, actually wanting to click on a live that already happened and watch some of it. That means a lot to me. Thank you, everybody who does that. I really, really appreciate it. And you're not going unnoticed. Trust me. So, okay. Scarlett said, I felt Stranger Things 5th season didn't rev up until episode 3, but that mama bear scene attack with that broken wine bottle was boss. Yeah. that was cool. That was cool. Yeah, it wasn't exactly gonna do much, but she was damn sure gonna try. And you have to respect that. The fury of a mom defending her kid. You're welcome, Amy. And hugs to you too. Scarlett said, I wonder if the Demogorgon is averse to water. Maybe hiding in the bathtub was a good idea, but it was intense. Yeah, I wonder about that too. And I mean, it certainly wasn't a sustainable hiding place for long. I know I can't hold my breath for long. But yeah, it sure that's why it made for such an intense scene. So, let's see. The yellow dog chases the gray cat. So I see you've watched some of the latest Pluribus. Then I think that is that from the latest or the one before? I forget now. No, I think it was the previous. Never mind. That was the episode 7. Anyway, Susie says, oh my God, but I have so much to say about Pluribus. Well, there will be a chance for that for sure. We're going to do a live on that, hopefully Sunday night. So if you're around, we would love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear your thoughts for sure. Scarlett said both Pluribus and Fallout were released a day early this week. I want to watch it with my boyfriend on weekends, so I've been dodging Fallout spoilers. Oh, I didn't know Pluribus was released early. I mean, I just watched it last night. So news to me. But yeah, we won't spoil Fallout for you. So I just watched the first episode of season 2. I liked it so far. I think it's a pretty strong start. It's hardly my favorite show on TV, but it's a really interesting watch. It's entertaining, so I'm enjoying it, and I think it'll be a fun show to cover. So I'm really glad that it's back and that they're only doing one episode at a time, so we can cover it the way it should be covered, the right way. Just one episode per week. The coats don't belong to you. None of this belongs to you, Dustin. Trying to pull it back to Stranger Things. Turn it up to 11. Yes. Let's get it back to Stranger Things. Indeed. I know it can be hard. People are less enthusiastic talking about Stranger Things because, they dropped all 4 of these episodes before Thanksgiving. But I don't care. I still think that shows that are this, impeccably produced and lengthy and complex deserve a deep dive, even if less people are interested in watching it because of the way dumb Netflix drops them. So I still wanted to deep dive individually into each episode. So damn it, we're going to do it my way. Now, as far as the rest of the season goes, I don't think we can. Because they're dropping episodes 5, 6, and 7 on Christmas. That's going to be a lot. I don't know if we can do lives for 5, 6, and 7 individually before the finale on on New Year's Eve. I doubt it. So we may do 2 lives for that, like 5 and 6 in one live and then 7 in another live. Anyway, please hit the like button, help people find the stream. That would be much appreciated and helpful. Every like really does matter, and putting a comment in the regular comment section helps too. Sharing the stream on social media, even sharing it with yourself, sending it to yourself, saving it to a playlist, like all of these things can boost the algorithm and help more people find this stream, which is not easy to do. Hi, Cricket to Know. Welcome. What's happening? Well, we're about to break down Stranger Things 5, Chapter 2. That's what is happening here. So if you like Stranger Things, well, we're going to dive into it, and we want to hear your thoughts. I always highlight lots of comments here, so I'm happy to hear any ideas and theories that you want to discuss. It doesn't just have to be about episode 2. You don't, and that goes for anybody else who's curious. Like, you don't have to avoid referring to episodes 3 and 4. You can talk about episodes 1 through 4 however you want during these lives, because they've all been out for weeks now. So if there's anything that you want to mention or any theory you have, feel free to share it, even if it's not specifically about episode 2, which we're going to really dive into tonight. So welcome. I'd be curious to know where you came from, because I haven't seen you before. And as far as I know, apologies if I've forgotten, but anyway, I'm always curious to know how people find us. And check out Bobby's channel for beautiful and fun art music videos, like Doc says right here. What else is here? There, let's see. D7 MXR. Will gets powers, by the way. Yeah. Will gets powers. Yes, he does. And I think that's an awesome twist. I'm glad. Welcome, D7. Another name in the chat that's new. Very cool. Wondering how you found us, if it was just in your recommended streams or something, because you watch a lot of Stranger Things content. I wonder, because I haven't been promoting these around social media like I should be. But yes, I think it's an awesome twist that Will gets powers, and that's something fans had speculated could happen for years. And it came to fruition. We finally saw it in episode 4. It's really awesome. I'm glad to see it, and I Yeah, I don't think it needs to be just 11 who has abilities, who has these incredible abilities. Will has been special from the beginning, and there was a reason he was taken. Now we're going to start finding out what that reason is. He wasn't just any random kid just being abducted. There was a reason. He had clear parallels to Vecna as a child when he was young Henry. And yeah, so you have to wonder if Will had some kind of latent special abilities that had not been tapped into even before his interaction with the Upside Down. You know, because Henry as a child had special powers long before he was ever at Hawkins' lab being experimented on. And so it wasn't Hawkins' lab that gave Henry his powers. So similarly, maybe it wasn't the Upside Down that gave Will powers. Maybe Will has some special abilities of his own, just like Henry did naturally, which is really interesting to think about, because 11, as far as we know, 11 only has powers because of the Hawkins lab experimentation on her mother and on herself. So, let's see. Hey, Justin, nice to see you, my friend. He said, just wanted to say hi to Julie and Ponda Kalima Cholokar. Hope you are both doing okay as best as possible. Glad you're trying to take care of yourself and have a nice weekend. Well, thank you for saying that. And we're doing as best as we can, absolutely, and trying to take care of ourselves. It's a tall order for me these days, but I'm doing the best I can, that's for sure. Trying, and hope you enjoy your weekend too. And let's see. Oh, sure. Let's see what else is here in the chat. Scarlett says we are having Christmas trivia over at Sci-Fi Vision on Monday at 12 p.m. I'm assuming that's Eastern time. There will be a prize. You heard correctly. Can someone drop a link? Yes, we are dropping that link right now to Sci-Fi Vision's YouTube channel. So Carl's got that covered for you, Scarlett. So there you go. That sounds like fun. So check out Christmas trivia over on Sci-Fi Vision channel with Jamie and Scarlett, Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, I'm assuming. Let's see. Wait, she said Christmas trivia is 11 p.m. Not okay, 11 p.m. Monday, not 12 p.m. Gotcha. Okay, well, 11 p.m. Eastern, I'm guessing. So correction, 11 p.m. And it's a movie prize, and you could win it just by showing up. Cool. Awesome. Well, sounds like fun. Yeah, we're not doing any, like, I've got so many shows I'm trying to juggle right now that it is like, there's no time for Christmas on this channel. It's full steam ahead TV show time. Nothing Christmas themed going on here at the moment. But that sounds a lot of fun. So anyway, so let's see. I think it's time for me to transition to my other device and start breaking down the episode with the litany of pictures I took. So that's just going to take a second. Hopefully it's not going to be a noisy few seconds as I transition between devices. Carl, you want to say hi to the chat?
Hi to the chat.
Then I'll leave that with you for a second.
Oh. Hello, everyone. I hope tonight finds you well. Julie is attempting to deploy her chair.
Not very well.
You got it there?
I got it.
You don't need some MAN on that? You sure? Okay.
I got it.
All right. The life of a YouTuber. Here you go. Unplug this, move that, sit there.
Okay. Oh, it's
There you go.
so I just have to switch to my Chromebook and we can start checking out eye-popping episode 2 images I have here and discuss what went down. It really is a colorful, eye-popping show. Now I'm gonna mute myself for just a second while I switch devices. There's usually some feedback noise. Hold on. Oh, sorry, no. False alarm, not yet. Device glitched. Anyway, it's a really eye-popping series. I love the color palette that they use. As I'm taking screenshots, I have like a newfound appreciation, even more than usual, for how aesthetically pleasing this show is. It's gorgeous to look at. The special effects are dazzling. The color palette, I just love it. I love the red lightning. And that's characteristic of the Upside Down. Oop.
Whoa.
Okay.
No,
Now, why is there still an echo?
I don't know.
There shouldn't be an echo anymore. Okay, I think it's gone. All right, sorry about that. I still have yet to figure out a way to seamlessly switch devices and without completely leaving the studio and coming back in. Whenever there are 2 of me in here and I'm on 2 devices, it gets kind of crazy and sounds like I'm in outer space. So I don't know. But I'm all set now. No more outer space noises. Okay, let me get back into the chat and then we'll dive into chapter 2. I'm with Alice says, "Hi Julie and friends, I'm listening. Please feel better, Julie." Thank you. That's what I'm telling my body all the time. Please just feel better. Please, please. Thank you for the well wishes. I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. It's always nice to hear when folks are listening, even when you're not chatting, just popping into the chat just to say hi. So I know who's listening. It's always nice to know. So thank you for doing that. And shout out to anyone else who's just listening. Appreciate you. Deploy chair to outer space. There's Justin. What else is here? Doc said, "I'm hanging here and listening while rewatching Pluribus episode 7. I got Critter into the show and he is on episode 7 as well." Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah. It's an addictive show. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, you were able to pull someone else into it. So thank you for hanging with us while you do that. Appreciate it. We'll be here for the next couple hours or so. Probably not much longer than that. And we got to make it a shorter one tonight. What is this? Oh yeah, there were some makeout scenes indeed, Justin, this week. This week there were some there was a steamy little scene that I was not expecting, but yeah. Anyway, wait a minute. I have Pluribus as my background now. I had Netflix before. Wait a minute. How did that get changed? Let me switch that.
Probably when you switch devices.
Yeah. Hold on. We're not doing Pluribus tonight. We're in the Netflix zone. We're in Stranger Things land. That's better. Okay. I'm glad I caught that before any more time went by, because people would be confused. Like, what show are we talking about here? I have way too many tabs open. I have like maybe 20 tabs open here. I usually clear these out before I start, but wasn't organized enough tonight. And will I get my images up? Huh?
What's the matter?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to log back in here.
Oh, okay. Sorry for the slowness. I'm trying to close like 10 tabs. Okay, close. Okay. Now it's getting better. Oh. Okay. And here are my Stranger Things images. All right, so now I'm ready to share with you what I've got here for episode 2. One thing that's tricky, though, about capturing images from this show is how fast the action moves. So a lot of stuff comes out a bit blurry in the action scenes. It's very difficult to get clear images. So I had some trouble with that as I was trying to make a thumbnail. I had to go back and retake a few screenshots till I got something I wanted. Some of them, the most iconic, like intense images, they came from fast-paced action scenes. And of course, that's what I wanted on the thumbnail. I wanted Holly screaming or something like that. And so that made it a little tricky. But anyway, okay, I got my images here, so we can start breaking this down. Thanks. Let's see. Doc says, but yeah, Julie, if you can join the panel, and if next Sunday works, you're my favorite streamer, but your health comes first. Oh, let me know if you can join the panel. Oh, the panel for, like, are you doing another live with Critter or something? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what you're talking about. Let's see. Yeah, thank you so much for saying I'm your favorite streamer. That's really sweet. Thank you. That means a lot. I mean, there are a lot of streamers out there, so the idea that I'm anybody's favorite streamer is crazy to me. So thank you. You're a sweetheart. But yeah, I will let you know. So yeah, I will let you know what's going on. Oh, okay. So it's a Pluribus panel with Scarlett, Amy, Lori, and you, Doc. Very cool. Very cool. And it's gonna be Sunday, as in this weekend, Sunday. Well, I think, well, in light of that, maybe what we'll do is, I'm not sure how it's going to shake out with my schedule and all. Because I was thinking we might even do our Pluribus live on Sunday night. But if you're doing that, then maybe we could do ours on Monday. Because I don't want to step on yours. I'm guessing that's on your channel, Doc. I don't want to step on yours at all. So if you're doing it Sunday, then we'll do a different night for that one. There's absolutely no reason we have to do that on Sunday. I was just spitballing Sunday as an idea. But we could just as easily do it Monday. So I want to support however I can. And if I can, attend, at least, even if it's just to make a brief appearance, I absolutely would love to. Like at least I could try to do that. Depending on how I'm feeling, just make an appearance. I'd love to do that and support you. Anyway, so, oh, hi Shadow Skulk. Nice to see you. Glad you could make it. Oh, no, next weekend. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, I've definitely got nothing going on then as of now, for next weekend. So, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'll at least, at the very least, I can make some kind of appearance. I'd love to do that. Okay, so Stranger Things episode 2, The Vanishing of, is the title, and of course they released the episode titles ahead of time, so to guard the secret of who would be vanishing, they kept it like that. And they made it pretty obvious, though. I mean, once they released the trailer, it looked pretty clear that Holly was going to get taken, and indeed she was. And like episode 1 ended with the what do you call it, the gorgonzola
Yeah.
busting into Holly's ceiling, through Holly's ceiling.
Yeah.
And this is how Netflix rolls. This is the Netflix model of storytelling. Instead of just wrapping up an episode on, like ending a storyline where it really logically should end at the end of an episode, they want you to binge it. They want you to press play on the next episode. So instead of ending it at its logical conclusion, they end it too soon on a cliffhanger. Then they pick up the next episode right where that left off. And usually within the first 10 minutes, that storyline has calmed down and we've moved on to like what comes next. And with other models of storytelling, with other networks, other streaming services, it wouldn't be like that. They would have concluded it. Like, I'll tell you the exact point where they would have concluded it when we get to it. But this is Netflix, and they want you to keep on hitting that play next episode button. And they figure once they've got you hooked, then okay, you're just going to finish the next episode, and now you're going to watch another one and another one. They fit in just enough action off of that cliffhanger into the beginning of the next episode that they figure, well, okay, now you've started watching it, you're going to continue through to the end, and it keeps on going just like that. And that's how people wind up binging the whole season all at once. It's pretty clever. I don't like the binge model, so I'm often able to resist it, or at the very least, if I really can't assuage my curiosity enough to wait and just avoid pressing play at all on the next one, I'll play the first few scenes of the next episode and then I'll stop it right there and pick up the next day or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, the cliffhanger picks up with Holly screaming as the Demogorgon busts into her bedroom, and her parents are blissfully ignorant of what's going on as usual. Her parents are just, her parents have been pretty clueless all through this whole series. Let's be real. Then neither of them are winning any awards for Parent of the Year. I don't care how badass, you might think Karen Wheeler suddenly looks, brandishing a broken wine bottle and screaming, "Stay away from my daughter," at the Demogorgon. I'll still never forget that she was leaving her family one evening, intending to go on a date with a 20 or maybe a 20-year-old guy. Sorry.
A date? It was a booty call. They were going to meet at the motel.
Yeah. It wasn't even a date. Like, yeah. Sorry, but I'm not ever getting that out of my head. And she's just always been, a stereotypical MILF character. I've never liked her. I've never found her likable to this point, and I'm not going to start now. Sorry. I'm sorry. Now she's going to be big, scary mama bear. Like, she's been so checked out of what's going on with her kids. She's clueless. She's clueless as to what is going on right under her nose for years. And I'm sorry, like, this scene does not change my mind, about her after what I've witnessed all through these seasons. But that's just me. Like, here she is once again drowning herself in booze and listening to music, about to take a bath, looking like a hot mess. The dad is out playing golf, also self-absorbed, playing golf at night with his silly dadisms, dadgummit. And you have those scenes interspliced with Holly, this total chaos of the Demogorgon attacking Holly. And it's just a perfect encapsulation of how useless they are as parents and how clueless they are. This shit is going on right under their nose. Right under their noses. So the Demogorgon tries to drag Holly into the Upside Down via the portal in the ceiling. It's really a miracle that it doesn't succeed in that. I don't know how the hell she had the strength to fight off this thing. It doesn't seem very realistic, but that's okay. He's got her by her ankles and she's holding onto the bed. It looked like it was a wrap for her right there. I mean, how did she possibly get away from him at that point? I don't know. What an awesome shot. I mean, I really loved how they portrayed this. The visuals were cool. I like how they depict the portals, the sinewy orange and red fibers glowing, and how they can just appear anywhere. It's really cool. It's dope. I like it. She's just screaming, like, this is just so typical, like typical Wheeler family moment. She's screaming, "Mom, Dad," and the two of them are off in La La Land, and there's a monster at her back grabbing her ankles. I don't know how she manages to resist him, but she winds up on the floor. This young actress did a great job. I thought she was very convincing. Apparently, they recast her. She's not the same young girl who played Holly in the beginning. I don't know why they didn't recast her with a younger actress, because she's 14 years old and Holly is canonically supposed to be 7 years old. So that's pretty strange. I don't get it. They do a good job of aging her down with her juvenile, colorful outfits and her pigtails, and she's a youthful looking kid, but still, I mean, yeah, she definitely looks older than 7. We get these moments kind of played out for our benefit, I think, more than anything else. Like, this is dragged out because if this were being realistic, that monster would have dragged her in right then and there. It wouldn't have been a fight like this that would have gone on this long. But this was for maximum drama, so we could get to see all these cool shots of the Demogorgon, peering down at her in the room, and then hunting her and her mom, and all of her glorious screaming. And she runs in to see her mom, and it's amusing because she's like, "Mom, there's a monster in there," and it's like a classic thing that so many little kids imagine there's a monster in my room, except ironically, it's actually true. And if anyone should believe it, it should be people in Hawkins at this point, but her mom doesn't believe her. It just kind of defies logic at this point. I mean, most of Hawkins is still ignorant to the reality that there are actual monsters. They miraculously, the military has managed to keep that under wraps. They just said it was some kind of, natural phenomenon unlike any ever seen before, that it happened here with all the fissures in the earth and the weird white
Dandruff.
yeah, the white dandruff in the air. But most people have not actually seen the monsters. However, I mean, I'm trying to remember if Karen has had personal experience yet knowing that these things exist in any way, shape, or form, knowing that any of these supernatural forces exist. Up to this moment in this episode, I'm trying to remember. I mean, she had her. No, I can't remember any instance where she was brought in on all of this, but I could be wrong. I haven't completed my rewatch. I still have to rewatch season 4 of Stranger Things. So maybe I'm forgetting maybe something that Karen was made aware of in season 4 regarding the monsters. But yeah, if anyone in the chat knows, let me know, because I can't quite recall if this is her first experience actually knowing that these monsters exist.
I think she's only aware of all the one-eyed monsters in town.
The one-eyed monsters. Like, yeah, she's the resident MILF in town, so, yeah, so she tells Holly that it was just a nightmare, and Holly is pleading with her to just believe her and trust her, and then she sees some blood on Holly, so yeah, she's like, oh, wait a minute, and there's pounding at the door, and yeah, it's a very intense scene. The thing starts to bust through the door. Meanwhile, you've got the kids in their military gear, still involved in the crawl mission that they started in episode 1. Oh, excuse me. And so they're in the middle of that. That's already been going sideways. They've lost contact with Hopper in the Upside Down, and 11 is breaking the rules and protocol by getting in the car with Nancy in a hoodie, which she is not supposed to be doing, because she's being watched. The government is hunting her down, and now she's going to be picked up on surveillance, just like Hopper said. And then the Demogorgon, busts into the bathroom, just kind of walks around, lumbers around, busts into the closet, shatters the shower. It's a really cool scene. We had already seen this in the trailer for season 5. So this was not anything like really that new and exciting, because we did already see that, but it was still cool to see it in sequential order. And of course, you've got Holly and her mom, Karen, hiding under the water, which is a really terrible hiding spot. It's not sustainable at all. There are people who can hold their breath for remarkable periods of time, but I mean, most people, how long are you really good for? I don't know if I could hold it more than a minute. So that's really tense. You could see like bubbles escaping from their mouths as they're struggling, trying to
you know, trying to like put off that moment where they need to take a breath. Like these giant dinosaur feet, just smashing her fuzzy slippers. I love the way these things are designed too. Those rows and rows of horrifying teeth. It's so disturbing. Just imagine the damage that they can do. But then of course there's the distraction of the father, the dad in the hallway. So the thing leaves. They get a momentary reprieve, and he's, he goes at the thing with a golf club, which of course is not going to go well for him. And with more of his silly dadisms too. Holy smokes. Yeah, he's such a cornball. He starts swinging at the thing, and I don't know if that's maybe too gory for me to show on YouTube, so I won't show it for long, but that should have been a fatal injury. Like, I really think that the show kind of copped out by not taking out one of these parents right then and there. The fact that they're both still alive, I think, is unrealistic. They're both, how are they both still alive? This thing ripped open his chest cavity pretty badly and, hurled him across the room. But somehow he's alive as of the end of the episode. He's in an induced coma, we've heard. And Holly and Karen, they run down the stairs. This thing, instead of just coming at them normally, I think it just comes through another portal. Or is that another Demogorgon? No, it's got to be the same one. It just pops out at them from another portal. It could have just taken the stairs, but it wanted to show off, I guess. Element of surprise. Yeah, so then you've got the mama bear scene. Stay away from my daughter. She breaks a wine bottle and confronts this thing as if she's going to do any damage with a broken wine bottle. But I guess you have to give her points for trying. It would have been better to just try maybe running, just keep running, run out the back door or something. They probably have a back door there somewhere. She stabs at the thing as much as she can with it, and there's just no way that was gonna do much good. And then by the time 11 and Nancy get there, it's too late for them to help. And what they see is pretty gruesome. Now, I just think that the gruesomeness and emotion of this scene is cheapened by the fact that somehow Karen is still alive. I just feel like this was their chance to really have an impactful emotional death, at least do something with a character who's been so useless all this time. I personally think they should have just killed her off. Maybe I sound heartless. I know there were people who said like they were crying when they watched this episode and stuff, and probably because of watching Nancy's reaction to her mother's heating pad and like something my medicine bag. Nancy's reaction to what happened to her parents and her little sister is very emotional. So I can see being emotional about that. But Karen has just never done it for me. She's never been a character I admired in any way. And I think this would have been a powerful moment for her to redeem herself, trying to save her daughter and giving up her life in the act of trying to do so. I think it would have been way more impactful if they had just killed her off in this moment, because that's what it looked like was about to happen here. This looked like a death scene. This is a bloodbath. There's an enormous amount of blood on the floor. They played it for maximum drama with the flashback to her in slow motion attacking the Demogorgon and the thing the thing like roaring at her, and then you see her bloody foot. The camera pans down and you see she is covered in blood. That's an enormous amount of blood loss. That looks like a fatal amount of blood loss. Once again, I just don't see how she's alive either. So this just felt like it should have been a death scene. That's what it looks like. And thank you. And instead it's, an almost death scene. Like, so I don't know. But that's me. This show has played it pretty safe in terms of casualties. And I'm not somebody who is all gung-ho saying that shows need to kill off a lot of characters for the stakes to be high. Actually, that's not me at all. I don't need to see a lot of deaths. I don't want to see a lot of deaths for people we actually care about. Like, I don't want to see our core characters we care about start dropping like flies. I don't want to see any of the core kids die. Any of them. The ones who actually matter to the show. I would be perfectly fine with none of them dying. And I think the show would go out just as well, even without that happening. But you have scenes like this, and it would be impactful if there were some emotional impact. It would show that there are stakes. The loved ones of the characters we care about coming into, into the crossfire because of the, their actions, their kids' actions. Because that's why they're getting targeted. Like, she wouldn't be clinging to life now if it wasn't for her kids' involvement in all this. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it would be like, this is season 5, and this is the time when you kind of expect there to be more casualties. So I'm just surprised that they didn't take this opportunity to knock one off the board right then and there. And it would have been one that viewers could have done without, and we wouldn't have lost much from the show. We wouldn't have lost anything from the show without Karen or her husband, for example. This was just... I just feel like the fact that she survived kind of cheapened the drama of this scene where he, this just felt like she was absolutely 100% going to die. When you see this happening in slow motion, it clawed her in the face. She fell. The blood splattered on Holly's face. There you have this harrowing shot of Karen laying there, covered in blood, sliced open, and she looks dead in that moment. So that's why I have a problem with it. Like, I have a problem with them keeping her around, mainly just because of the way they played this scene for maximum drama. Like, we are expecting a death to happen here. Like, you make it that dramatic, she should have been dead. So, it just kind of irritated me that they amped up the drama like that, only to chicken out and be like, oh, guess what? She's still alive. She's hanging on there. She's clinging to life. It cheapens the emotional impact of a scene like this, where Nancy comes running in and she's like crying over her mom's broken body, and don't try to talk, just stay calm. You're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. This feels like a death scene. 11 watching helplessly there, and then cutting back and forth once again between the flashbacks of that fight scene between her and her mother, and I mean between her mother and the Demogorgon, and she says, she does manage to, I think, is that where she says Holly? I think she says Holly as she's laying on the floor. She manages to at least say that. and then we see why, because the Demogorgon got her. She, with Karen out of the way and unable to defend her, the Demogorgon just, sets its sights on her. And you had this really cool shot of the Demogorgon's reflection in Holly's eyeball, in her pupil, which was really cool. You could literally see it advancing on her. I liked that a lot. Anyway, the Nancy and 11, when they notice that there's an open portal to the Upside Down right there. So Nancy urges 11 to get in there and go after it, where it clearly must have taken Holly. So off she goes just in time before the portal closes. And then somehow both parents are still alive. There's the dad, multiple blunt impact, weak abdominal, blah, blah, blah. Female, 46 years old. So lacerations to the right anterior chest and penetrating neck trauma. These are some really serious things. But they looked like fatal injuries in the moment. It really did. And yeah, that was a crazy way to open the episode. Now that is the point. I would say that's probably the point where a normal show would have cut off the episode. It would have cut off maybe with a cliffhanger right there. The cliffhanger would have been 11 heading into the Upside Down after the Demogorgon. And then the next episode would have opened with the parents being brought into the hospital. But that's not how Netflix rolls. They wanted to make it a much bigger cliffhanger. So they cut it off with where they cut it off at the end of chapter 1. The end of chapter 1 was literally just the Demogorgon bursting into Holly's bedroom ceiling. And yeah, they could have easily played that out to this point. But that's how Netflix wants to keep you hooked in. And so now we're ensconced in another episode, so we're just going to keep watching. And it works. People do it. That's how people keep watching and binging. Because we already see this kind of calming down. That sequence of the episode ends and we move on from there. Okay, now what's next? And that's been pretty much the formula for Stranger Things from the beginning of the series, I've noticed. This scene with Nancy running, washing the blood off her hands was in the trailer too. This was a subject of a lot of scrutiny and debate and speculation. Whose blood could that be? Who is she crying over? A lot of people speculated it could be Steve or even Jonathan. But it was someone a lot less impactful than that, obviously, because we care more about Steve and Jonathan than Karen. So I'm personally glad. Like I said, I don't want to see any of our major characters get killed off, especially Steve. So fine by me. I was relieved that it wasn't either of them, especially Steve. But, Jonathan, again, I wouldn't want to see any of these kids have to go in the end, but I'm sure at least some of them will. Probably not a bloodbath. The show has never really been about that, but I do think we're going to see some major deaths this season. Nancy starts blaming herself. I think that she goes way too far with it personally. We could have done more. We could have tried to get them out of Hawkins, or at least told them the truth. So, okay, I guess that kind of answers my question, where I was trying to remember if Karen knew anything about about the upside down, about the supernatural happenings and the monsters prior to this. And I don't think she did. I think this was Karen's first experience of any of that. But even if they had tried to tell them the truth, would their parents have believed them? I don't know. I doubt it. So I think Nancy is being way too hard on herself here. Try to get them out of Hawkins. How are kids going to get their parents to move out of town? This is just her punishing herself needlessly. And Will is right. They couldn't have known anything like this was going to happen. And like, this is what I was saying. After all this time, it comes for Holly. Holly, who has nothing to do with any of this. It makes no goddamn sense. I agree with him. She's like, it makes perfect goddamn sense. Vecna told me this would happen. He showed me. I mean, I see what she's saying here. He showed her a vision of her family dying and then everyone dying. Not just the 4 gates opening, but Holly, their parents dead, everyone dead. But it still doesn't make sense that after all this time it would come for Holly. It is pretty out of left field. So I'm more on Will's side than hers on that. And it's not like they just chose not to believe what Vecna said. What have they been doing all this time? They've been undergoing these militaristic operations to try to hunt Vecna down methodically, strategically. And it's not like they've been doing nothing. So I don't know. She just kind of, I know she's upset right now, but she kind of got on my nerves with this line of reasoning. I found it annoying and just, overly dramatic. And it's not like they've been just sitting on their hands doing nothing, living their lives, enjoying themselves. They're not. Like, they've undergone like 30 something operations with Hopper trying to find Vecna, for God's sake. So now, she's saying Vecna has come back to realize his vision to punish us. He did it with Fred and Chrissy and Max, and now it's our turn. He's not going to stop until we're drained of every ounce of suffering. Which it reminded me a lot of From, actually. It's like this entity in From, whatever this entity is that that runs things, that is powering the place where everyone is trapped in the TV series From. It seems like it feeds on fear and suffering, and it's not going to stop until it drains everyone dry. So kind of got From vibes on that one. Vecna doesn't leave things unfinished. Yeah, so like, Lucas makes a good point. Vecna doesn't leave things unfinished. He doesn't hold back. If this was really about making you guys suffer, and I have to point this out too. Yeah, why leave the parents alive? I was wondering that myself, because I really think that realistically, that Demogorgon should have killed both parents. So maybe he deliberately left them alive. Maybe this is some kind of a long game that Vecna is playing. And he says, why take Holly into the Upside Down and not leave her body here for you to find? Why not come here himself? Why send one of his pets, a Demogorgon? Yeah, why? That's a lot of great questions that he's raising. And so Lucas is, Will is like wondering, okay, are you saying that you don't think it's Vecna doing this? Lucas is saying, I don't know, and neither do you. Well, I would say yes, it is Vecna. Who else is it going to be after all this time? We're not going to introduce another villain in season 5 at this point. It's going to be Vecna, the Mind Flayer, or both. Don't you think, Karl?
Yeah. How would it be anybody else?
Yeah.
On the final season, you're gonna introduce, like you said, like a third party, right? Somebody in the background. Some also ran, huh? Some like, oh, that's Vecna's little brother. No, right? It doesn't work that way.
No. I can understand like the penultimate season, season 4, they introduced Vecna for the first time. That's fine. That's all well and good. But you don't introduce some really impactful new villain in the final season.
It's Vecna's cousin, Specna.
Yeah. And it's like Lucas is right that there are too many questions, and this is like deja vu, because this is what happened to Will. This kind of brings everything full circle. This happened to Will almost exactly the same time, just like 4 years prior, I think, in the world of the show. It's only been 4 years, if you can believe that. It's been 9 years for us, but I think it's only been 4 years for them.
Yeah, all these actors have mortgages now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have mortgages. They're becoming parents themselves.
But they're still in high school.
But they're still in high school, yeah. So yeah, it's so on. As of this episode, it's November 3rd, and Will was taken on the 6th. So they're less than 3 days away from that anniversary, and I don't think it's a coincidence either. I think Lucas is right that it's not. And I think that he probably will get Holly back too. If anyone can save her, it's definitely 11, just like he says. So there's the crime scene. Got the big bad military coming in. We know they're not the good guys in this story. In this story, it's like the trope of the big bad government. They take pictures of the scene, and they're obviously suspicious that 11 has been present, because one of them says no one saw this intruder, and the other guy responds, no, by the time she got home the intruder was gone along with her sister. And the first guy says, the daughter, she arrived alone. The other one says, that's what she told us, sir. So clearly he suspects that 11 has been there, and he's right. Nancy was there with 11. Nancy lied and said that she got there alone. Then he looks at that spot where there was, they know what that is. That was a portal to the Upside Down. They recognize it for what it is. And so he says, I want you to pull up all video surveillance within a 2-mile radius of this house. The guy says, you think it could be her, sir? Meaning 11. Yeah. So he suspects that she was there, and she fucked up by not listening to Hopper and traveling there. Not even, you could at least get under the seat or something. She sat there in a freaking hoodie. That was really stupid. Knowing that she's being hunted like this, and they're like with the surveillance that we're under with cameras everywhere all the time, she could have at least crouched down in the back or something. That was so dumb. Such an avoidable issue, getting caught on surveillance, as she later will be. But anyway, she's there in the Upside Down searching for Holly, and she gets startled by Hop and throws him to the ground, because she doesn't know who he is at first. And of course he's surprised to see her and wondering how the hell she got there. She's like, she knows. Yeah, he tries to tell her there's a Demogorgon, and she's like, yeah, I know, it's bleeding. She must have heard it, Karen, with her wine. Even after all this time, she still talks in a kind of our unusual way. She talks a little bit like an alien.
She's got a learning disability. Okay,
Yeah.
He discriminated against 11.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit unrealistic, huh?
Yeah. I think it's
She talks like Yoda. She does.
yeah. She still talks a little bit off, and I like that. I like that they've kept that going, and that she doesn't just, after all this time, just talk normally now. Obviously, her language skills have improved a lot since season 1, where
Egos do I like?
she hardly even said anything in season 1. How many
Love
lines?
you, Mike. I do.
I don't think she ever talked like that, but how many lines did she even have in season 1? I mean, not many.
Gorgonzola, it must be.
Yeah, and now she talks a whole lot more, but yeah, it's still a little bit off. She says that when she searches for Holly, she goes into the void in her mind. She's been searching for Holly, and she can't find her, but she must be close. She figures the Demogorgon couldn't have gotten far yet with her. They just need to find the blood. So it takes care of that scene. Yeah, and I like how she just, she talks, she says all this stuff like without, slowing down and cluing him in on what the hell she's talking about. At first, I like how she just doesn't bother to even take a breath and explain to him what happened coherently. Now, before I go on, let me check in with the chat. It seems like a good spot to pause. What is that stuffed animal? Said Susie. I don't know. I couldn't tell what kind of animal that was. Amy said it looks like a little derpy giraffe. It was cute, whatever it was. I love Holly's bedroom. It's adorable, the way they styled it and the way they styled her. It's really, really cute. Carl, you said, isn't that Teddy Ruxpin's friend? Who's that?
You don't know who Teddy Ruxpin is?
No.
Slap you in the face. Teddy Ruxpin was this teddy bear that would tell you stories, and he was animatronic, and you'd put a cassette in his back, and you would have a book to follow along, and he would mouth the words of like, "Hi, I'm Teddy Ruxpin," and blah 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 blah.
Oh,
and
really?
He would tell a story, and I think that was his buddy, that worm.
Oh,
that was his buddy from wherever Teddy Ruxpin came from.
Oh.
I think.
Oh,
I
cool.
could be wrong, but I thought that's what came to mind from the 80s.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was something real that they featured in it because they love to do these nostalgic
little Easter
things.
eggs, huh? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a '90s kid, so I missed the boat on Teddy Ruxpin's.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born at the end of the '80s, but I was too young to remember anything from it. So I missed the '80s. Let's see. Justin said, it's not like Pluribus, a slow burn until the last few minutes, and then start off with mundane tasks and slow all over again until the last few minutes. If you're talking about Stranger Things, and yeah, yeah, Stranger Things is sure as hell not a slow burn. It is not. It's very action packed. And yeah, Pluribus, yes, you have to have a lot of patience with it, and watching a lot of mundane things happening, and things kind of progress extremely slow and artistically, very artistically shot, and I'm getting used to it. There are some scenes that I think could easily be pared down a lot, but I'm getting used to the slow pacing of it, and this is just Vince's style of storytelling. I'm learning that. Let's see. Yes. Like Justin said, thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what we're up to now, but
23.
23 likes. Thank you so much. And thank you for your support, Justin. Yes, the likes really do help. And, it's not easy. I'm a broken record, but it is not easy covering new shows all the time. And every single time you cover a new show, YouTube doesn't know you for that show. And so it's very hard to get your video shown and suggested to new people. So liking the video, it really does make a big difference. Doc said, I was shocked they survived too. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Amy said, a miracle. Yeah, that's for damn sure. What is this, Karl? You said they rubbed him with Vicks and gave him a 7-Up?
Yeah. And then he just burped the injury away.
Yeah, all better now.
Mm.
Let's see. Hey there, and welcome Shushi1122, who says Pluribus has a lot of Easter eggs with astronomy, Trojan horse, Miller worm, and NW screwworms in Panama and numerology. Carol Sturka is 4011 or 1111, same as one of patient 0.
But I digress.
Yeah. And diabete is 678 in numerology, like Davis Taffler, also 678 intentional, I think. First.
Hey there, Ron Burgundy. You don't have to read it.
Well, I'm trying to like wrap my head around this here.
Stay classy, San Diego.
First timer was 440 days, 40 times 11. House number Carol 1208. 1 + 2 + 8 = 11. See, you are. I I'm not good with number theories. I will admit, like I'm not good at numerology type things. I don't know anything about numerology, and trying to trace like different number theories and stuff. But yeah, interesting stuff. I don't know. But I have heard about some numerical related theories regarding Pluribus, and anyway, but thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that. And we will be covering Pluribus more in a few days. We'll be doing a live on Pluribus episode 8, the latest episode. I'm thinking we'll probably do it Sunday night, but stay tuned for an official schedule on that. I'm going to shoot for Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern for Pluribus to break down episode 8, because I really want to give ourselves enough time to discuss it way before the finale. The finale airs next Thursday. I don't want to wait till the last minute. This is an amazing show. There's a lot to talk about before the finale. So if you're really into Pluribus, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit the notification bell. That part is really important because I have ongoing severe health issues that cause me to need a very flexible schedule, and that means a lot of times in recent months I've had to postpone streams. So if you hit the notification bell, that'll help a lot. That way, if I don't do a live at the time when I had planned because I'm unable to, you'll see a notification pop up when I finally do go live, and you won't miss it. So if you're into Pluribus, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more content coming on that to wrap up the season. I'm also going to be making a video as soon as I can get that done. Hopefully a few days from now, you'll see a video just sharing all of my ideas and theories as best I can articulate them on Pluribus thus far, heading into the finale. Anyway, let's see. Let me see what else is in the chat here. Scarlett said Jonathan can go. Yeah, I wouldn't be too sad about Jonathan either. He's a creeper. He's a peeping Tom creeper. He can go. Let me say he's like I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't shed a tear for him. Would you?
No.
No.
And then, yeah, he can take his lack of dental hygiene somewhere.
Yeah.
And his messed up unibrow and his messed up British hair.
Yeah. Yeah. I think out of all of the like teenagers and kids, Jonathan is probably my least favorite if I had to pick. So if I had to pick anybody to get killed off out of all of the teens and kid characters, it would be Jonathan, I gotta say. Who would be your top pick, Carl?
To what? To get rid of?
Yeah. Out of all the kids.
Oh, of the kids? Yeah. I mean, I guess if he's a kid, quote unquote.
The teens / kids.
Uh-huh.
The youths.
Yeah, him. And obviously we keep the hair of what's his face? That Steve's hair. I mean, even if Steve were to die, his hair would have to obviously have a recurring role, somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Steve's hair is a character unto itself at this point. So that would be a shame to see that go.
Well, there's somebody else you could get rid of for me too. Miss Know-It-All radio disc jockey. So you go from scooping ice cream to having a syndicated talk show. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. It is pretty far-fetched. Like how the hell did well, now her name is escaping me. What is it? What is her name?
Uma Thurman.
No.
Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Oh, what is her name? Damn it. Oh, it's bugging me. But
somebody in the chat help us.
What? Yeah, what the hell is her name? But she, I like her. I like her. I wouldn't want to see her go, but I do think it's far fetched that suddenly she and Steve have a radio show this season. How did they pull that off? Isn't the actor that plays Jonathan 30 years old? I think so, Scarlett. Yeah.
Probably 40 years old.
Yeah.
His teeth are 40 years old.
Yeah. They really look it. Oh, man. They look like smoker's teeth. I wonder if he smokes. Probably. Maya Hawke, yeah, we're trying to remember her name in the show. But that's who we're talking about, Scarlett. Yeah. Yes, Amy, Jonathan is boring. I agree. Let's see. Hey, Patrick Olinger 7172. Nice to see you. Welcome. I love Stranger Things. Well, you came to the right place because we love Stranger Things, and I wanted to analyze each episode one by one because I feel like this show deserves it. I know they dropped 4 episodes at once, but I wanted to do one live stream for each one, so that's what we're doing because the show is too damn good to just rush through it, and each episode is like a movie. It's so impressive. So we're going to be continuing to do lives covering each episode individually. In a few days, we'll do a live covering episode 3. And then before the next bunch of episodes drop, we'll do one on episode 4. So within the next week, we'll have 2 more Stranger Things lives. So if you enjoy talking about it and you want to hear more, you want to come share your ideas, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and hit the notification bell because we're going to be doing more of these. We'll do them a little bit earlier, hopefully in the night than this. It's it's 1:07 a.m. Central for me right now, which is fine for me. I mean, I'm a night person, but I know it's tough for a lot of people to make it at strange hours of the night. So I'm going to try to do them a little earlier, like maybe 10 p.m. Eastern instead of starting. I think tonight we started at like, I think it was midnight Eastern, roughly, when we started. So yeah, I'm going to try to do them a little earlier. And so yeah, if you like Stranger Things, we're going to keep covering it. We're going to do a live for every episode of season 5 and really break this thing down, and want to hear everybody's ideas, theories, comments, anything you have on your mind. And I always highlight as much as I can from the chat. So please feel free to share any ideas you have.
Robin.
Robin is the name we were trying to remember.
Yeah, Scarlett put it in the chat.
Yes. Okay. Robin. There.
Rockin' Robin.
Should have remembered that. Rockin' Robin. Anyway. So yeah, we're gonna I don't know which nights yet, but I'm thinking let's see, what's today? Friday. So Saturday night, if we can pull it off, we might do a Stranger Things live Saturday night too. So we may do our Stranger Things episode 3 live Saturday night, depending on how I'm feeling. And if that doesn't work out, then Monday night will be the night we do it. So just watch for the notifications on when that's going to happen. I'll post an update in my YouTube community area, and I'll schedule it. I'll schedule the live. Another way to keep up with what's going on with the channel, we have a Discord. It's a lot of fun. We also do watch parties, including Stranger Things watch parties. We're going to be streaming. We already streamed episodes 1 through 4 in the Discord. We're going to be streaming episodes 5, 6, and 7 when they drop. Not literally right when they drop, but sometime, that within a day or so, I'm sure we'll stream them. We'll find a way to do it. And of course we'll stream the series finale in the Discord too. So if you want to join some fun watch parties, that's always a good time. And that'll be in Discord. The link to that is in the description of this video if you're not in my Discord and you want to join and watch with us. And yeah, it's going to be a fun ride. And then, of course, we'll have one last really big live for the finale of the entire series of Stranger Things shortly after it airs New Year's. I believe New Year's Eve is when it drops. And so within a few days of that, we'll do our last one. But I'm going to shoot for doing a single live stream for every episode of season 5. Might have to make one exception and combine episodes 5 and 6 into one live, though, because they're dropping 3 of them on Christmas, and that makes it a little bit difficult. Hey, AAMM, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. And Patrick also said, "Do you like horror movies?" Oh yeah, we love horror movies here. Absolutely. We also do watch parties for horror movies in the Discord too, just for fun as well. So, if that's something you enjoy, it's another reason to join the Discord. It's one of my favorite genres. What else is here in the chat? I'm going to scroll back up to where I was at before. Scarlett said, "I felt bad seeing her in pink with her parents' blood on her. Gruesome." Yeah, I agree. I felt bad for Nancy. I didn't, even though I don't like her parents, like I felt bad for her. And that was a gruesome choice indeed. Like I was thinking that as I was looking at these pictures of her in her pretty pink sweater and pretty pink pants doused in blood. Awful. Anyway, let's see. Scarlett said she heard it with her wine. Yes.
Yeah.
11 has only been out of the lab for a couple years. Right. Yeah, it really hasn't been long. I think it's been in the world of the show 4 years right now, as far as I know.
From the lab, she must go.
Yeah. Scarlett said we used to put heavy metal cassettes in Teddy Ruxpin. Nice. Let's see. Did I miss anything else before we continue? I think that pretty much covers it. Okay. Yeah, Ethan Hawke Ethan Hawke's time travel movie was excellent. Predestination. Was that the one? You see Predestination with Ethan
No,
Hawke?
I never saw that. No.
Oh, you would like it. It's a real.
You saw a movie that I haven't seen?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, a great one at that.
Maybe you did go back in time, huh? What the hell?
Yeah, it's a mind fuck too. It's a real mind fuck. Yeah, that's one you got to see.
Oh.
Anyway,
Was it like predetermined?
yes, it's like it's a crazy time travel, timey-wimey, bootstrap paradox kind of movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back into the breakdown. So moving on. So we go back to the radio station, and so this is in the aftermath of the electrical power surge that happened in chapter 1, and it's basically something happened with Will that made it all go kablooey at once, as they say here. And Will had one of his visions where he was seeing through the Demogorgon's eyes when everything went crazy and fried the electrical system. And Robin asks if this kind of thing has happened with his visions before. Could you pour this for me, please? And where the lights go kooky and an electronic short circuit. I don't care. And Joyce says no. So yeah, this is a really interesting twist how Will has powers that are now developing and coming into fruition, and so this is really cool. I'm enjoying this storyline a lot. So yeah, then Joyce has a talk with him about her visions. Like, is this what he experienced before, like with what he called his now memories? And it's like sort of like his now memories, but more intense.
That's your now memories right here.
Oh, nice shot. Yeah. So in the past, he was able to see things that were happening in the Upside Down, see visions of the Upside Down, and he called those now memories. But this is way more intense, and I noticed that in episode 1 too. Like as I was watching it, I'm like, he never saw through the eyes of some other entity before. Like, it was quite clear that it was a POV shot from the perspective of some other entity in the Upside Down, and that never happened before. And so this is a whole new kind of vision for him. Really interesting. And the fact that it's happening around the anniversary of when he was taken, I don't think it's a coincidence either. There's something to that. He said it was more intense. It was like I was the Demogorgon. It's like I was right there. And then there's a POV shot where you can see from the Demogorgon's eyes. Or eye. I mean, does it have one eye?
Does it have any eyes?
I think.
And all I see is teeth. Teeth and petals.
Yeah. I assume it has eyes. It seems to be able to see, right?
Maybe it can only smell.
Maybe. But be that as it may, I mean, yeah, he was seeing from that perspective.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah, he was seeing from that perspective, looking down at those soldiers who were firing at the Demogorgon. He said, I was seeing what it was seeing and thinking what it was thinking. Which is, this is going to be a real asset. The fact that he can do this, this is really helpful. This is like they have a spy, like the way that the Mind Flayer used Will to spy for it, and basically Vecna, I would say, used Will to spy for him in season 2. Now, I mean, they can basically spy on the Upside Down through Will, and this is going to be really helpful, I think, going forward. It already has been helpful. Like now he he knew that which direction that the Demogorgon was going to go in next. So like I think, yeah, because at the end of chapter 1 he knew that the Demogorgon was going to go was on its way like toward the Wheeler house. So that's how Nancy and 11 knew to rush over there. It's just, unfortunately, it was too late. By the time they got there, it was too late. But I mean, just imagine if he can, get on top of this and warn them a little sooner about something. So she asks him if he has any idea why it would go after the Wheelers and take Holly. But he doesn't, and it's hard for him to remember everything that he experienced from that vision. It's like remembering a dream. He says that he must have somehow tapped back into the hive mind, the Mind Flayer hive mind. So many of these shows that we cover have like common threads. Yeah, we're here. We are talking about a hive mind again. Now in season 2, they severed the connection. Technically, they thought they did between Will and the hive mind of the Mind Flayer, but it was never truly severed. It really wasn't. Like Will is saying here, he's always been different. Ever since he was taken, he's been permanently changed.
Hide this mind.
He's never really been the same. He's got these feelings of connection that come and go, and he gets those goosebumps on the back of his neck when Vecna is close. That's been consistently happening each season, even after they did that little exorcism kind of thing to get the shadow monster out of him in season 2. And after the gate opened, he says he mentions how like after the gate was reopened to the Upside Down, he felt Vecna again. And then when he was in California, it went away, probably because he was far away. As soon as he got back to Hawkins with more proximity, the feeling returned. Now he's closer. He's closer than ever. So they're starting to figure out, his proximity to Hawkins and Vecna, like that heightens his psychic ability, and his connection to Vecna. And so it's like he's like Robin compares it to being like a radio receiver. Like he has an antenna coming up from his head, and Vecna, it's like he uses Mind Flayer particles like radio waves. And when the antenna is close to the waves, the signal comes through clear as day. But if you're too far away, so you get the idea. And Will realizes like this could be a way to find Holly. And I think that makes total sense. That's a great plan. He remembers that he had a vision when he was out in the woods, and it was just kind of the sky spinning. And then he's he thinks maybe he was seeing through the Demogorgon's eyes then too, and if he can tap into that, he could spy on Vecna again. And he's right. I think it makes total sense. Of course, his mother doesn't want him to do it because when he spied on Vecna before, and he was connected to him like that before, Vecna took control of him and almost killed him. He almost died, but Will is there. Will. I mean, he
Is
and
that like Vecna Vision?
Vecna Vision. Yeah, I like that. Vecna Vision. That's what he's got, basically. Yeah, and I think Will is their best shot now. I don't think 11 is enough. I think they need Will too. I think they need Will to use his abilities to defeat this. He and 11 are going to be the keys, both of them, I think, in the end. Now, you know, so of course he has an argument with his mom, and she wants to just, keep repairing the connection at the radio station so that they can find Hopper in the Upside Down. And yes, that's important. They need to do that. They need to also find 11, who's in there now too. But Will is right that they should leave. They should use his abilities to try to locate her. And she's gonna have to just learn to let go. He's older now. He's not a little kid anymore. And I mean, she does have a point though. She's his mother. He's underage. Like, he technically is still a kid, even though in real life he's not. Obviously, it's difficult. I can understand why she doesn't want to put her son in harm's way. But yeah, I think he and 11 are going to be essential, both of them. So yeah, Steve is having some issues with the van, and they're trying to so they're trying to navigate also Steve and Jonathan's annoying drama. They're constantly at odds over Nancy, and we get the update that Mr. Wheeler's in an induced coma and Karen is in surgery. So Steve wants to go see her at the hospital, see Nancy, and if they can get the van going. Jonathan doesn't think that they should stick to the plan and keep searching that zone that they've been trying to search that night. Find Hopper, find 11, and find Holly now. And I think Jonathan's right on that. Steve's heart is in the right place, wanting to go stop by and bring Nancy flowers or something and comfort her. But they've got to keep their eye on the ball, and like, there's just too much going on right now to go bring Nancy flowers. So, I gotta side with Jonathan on this. And yeah, but they're in this love triangle with Nancy now, and like the two of them are constantly like at each other's throats over it. And Steve definitely seems to want her back. Ever since Jonathan has come back from California, Steve's like showing off in front of Nancy, like trying to win her back, seemingly. And let's face it, he is better than Jonathan. So, yeah, I get why Jonathan's annoyed about it. It's funny how he calls him a selfish, chauvinistic meathead to Steve. You don't hear meathead that often as an insult. It's a classic. But yeah, we don't hear that one brought up too much. And And Steve rightly points out that Jonathan has been pretty messed up. Getting way too into smoking pot all the time and
not brushing his teeth.
And not brushing his teeth. And he hasn't been a very good boyfriend recently. So yeah, maybe if he stopped focusing on Steve and started focusing on her, then they might be happy, like Steve is saying. I'm Team Steve easily. But then finally Dustin shows up with a nasty bloody nose, having been beaten up by those bullies over supporting Eddie and wearing the Hellfire shirt and then provoking them by putting that snake in their locker and making them look like chicken shit in front of everybody. So he joins the mission late, and because he shows up late, it went sideways and they lost contact with Hopper without his expertise helping, dumbass Steve. Anyway, so back to the Upside Down. So Hopper is pissed that 11 drove in the car without, even getting down on the ground or anything, like a dumbass wearing a hoodie, and because like that's not what they do. Do we drive around in cars? No, we take the tunnels and we don't surface until it's clear because she's being hunted. She is like public enemy number one. And the government has been after her, but yeah, she really blew it by doing that. And yes, Holly was in danger, but again, she could have at least like crouched down on the floor instead of sitting there with her hood up as if that's going to conceal her enough. And yeah, like he's right. They did catch her on camera. And they're going to come for her, just like he said. So 11 points out that when she searched for Holly, she couldn't find her, just like Vecna. So maybe wherever Holly is, Vecna is, somewhere that her powers can't reach when she tries to find them in her mind. So they're beyond some kind of barrier. So maybe the Demogorgon took Holly to Vecna. And she's absolutely right. I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Now, why does Vecna want Holly? Now that's still up in the air, like I was saying earlier. Is she just collateral damage? Did they just target her? I think they just targeted her to distract this whole team from their mission. I think they targeted Holly and attacked Karen and her husband, just to throw everyone off their game. And, because they've become too tight of a militaristic kind of unit here. And, this knocks them off course. But who knows? Maybe there's some other specific reason for taking Holly, something special about her. I doubt it at this point. I don't think they're going to make anything too special about Holly this late in the game. I think it's really just a distraction technique. So they argue about like what 11 has been doing, and he accuses her of acting on impulse and on emotion, which everything he taught her not to do. She says no, not emotion, instinct. And I think that's right. I buy that. So that they continue to follow the trail of blood, and then back in Hawkins, Lucas is updating Max, who's still in a coma, on what's been going on. It's a sad situation where she's still locked into this state. I I've had my ups and downs with this character. I liked her when she was first introduced. Season 3, I thought she was annoying. I grew to really like her in season 4, and yeah, it sucks that she's in this situation, but I think that she's gonna wind up coming out of it in the end and surviving.
Well, she might, if she comes out of it and she sees that flat top, she might just fucking croak right then and there.
Like, yeah, I think
She's like, oh, I'm back.
Mhm. Yeah, it's the most ghastly flat top I've ever seen. That's horrible. Like, you have those big Netflix dollars for the best stylists and budget, and this is what you come up with. This is how you butcher a classic 80s flat top. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
There's a lot of bad hair in this show.
There is a lot of bad hair in this
You
show.
got Jonathan, you got what's his name again? I'm trying to blank. And then Dustin, right? Dustin's hair I think sucks too, right?
Dustin's hair is horrible. Yeah. Dustin's got probably the worst of the bunch if I had to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, the 80s was not the golden age of hairstyle.
Yeah.
It had some of the worst hair I've ever seen. I mean, God, my mom and dad both had perms in the 80s. Both of them. So Lucas is basically telling Max that he feels like they really are going to need the whole party to get through this final battle. The final battle basically started tonight, and 11 can't do this alone. Like, she's going to need all of them, and that includes Max. No pressure or anything as you lay there in a coma or anything. But yeah, he's telling
she's
her.
not exactly contributing right now, is she?
Yeah, how dare you just lay there lazing around in your bed, in your hospital bed.
You've been asleep, lady.
So Lucas thinks that they're running out of time, and he just implores her to come back. Even just a sign would be enough to show him she's still in there. He's just begging for a sign. And then as if on cue, right as he's asking for a sign, at least somebody gets a bit of inspiration here. Will sees this book, A Wrinkle in Time, at the hospital, and he gets thinking about it. He was thinking about how Lucas said he doesn't believe in coincidences anymore, and then he starts thinking about what Holly said about Mr. Whatsit, her imaginary friend. So he was thinking, like, maybe this wasn't her own creation. Holly had said that Mr. Whatsit told her there were monsters in Hawkins, and he warned her that these monsters were coming for her. And on the same day, she's actually taken by a monster. As far as coincidences go, that's a hell of a one. Yeah, it is. So yeah, no way is it a coincidence. And so he figures Mr. Whatsit maybe is not just a figment of her imagination after all, and he's real. So yeah. And Mr. Whatsit, I think that's the connection to A Wrinkle in Time is like there's a Mrs. Whatsit in A Wrinkle in Time. I read that book when I was in 6th grade, but that was a long time ago, so I don't remember the details. But I think there's a Mrs. Whatsit in A Wrinkle in Time, and that's what kind of gave him that spark of inspiration when he saw that book. So basically, they're wondering, like, how did Mr. Whatsit know Holly was in danger? And if he was so worried, well, why didn't he warn them or Holly's mom or do anything about it? And he says, he thinks that she was right, that they should have done more to protect their parents and Holly, and he doesn't want to have any more regrets. So, if Mr. Whatsit is real, he would know things like why Holly was taken, or maybe where she was taken. So he's like, how do we find out information about this? And Nancy has the idea to talk to their mom. She's the only one who might know something about this from talking to Holly about Mr. Whatsit. Now the problem is she's not being allowed visitors at the moment, so she needs Will to go turn on the sad puppy dog eyes with the receptionist and get her to agree to let them see their mom, which really shouldn't have been an issue anyway, to be honest. I don't get why the hospital was refusing to let them see their own parents. That's dumb, if you ask me. Then we have this scene, which was annoying as hell. I don't like seeing Steve and Dustin bickering like this. It's getting irritating. Like, they're constantly at odds. I feel like they're leading up to something with this, and I don't like where my mind is going. It seems like they're going to be at each other's throats nonstop, and then something's going to happen to Steve, and it's going to gut Dustin even more because of how poorly they've been getting along, and then he'll feel even worse, and it just feels like, okay, this is a TV trope. These two close friends are having a major falling out, and it's going to lead up to Steve dying. This is something that fans have been predicting from the beginning of the series, that Steve is a goner and his time may finally be up this season. He was not actually supposed to survive season 1. They were going to kill him off, and the Raiders changed their minds. So, I mean, this is it. I mean, he might go this season, and I don't like that I'm thinking this, but it does kind of make sense. It's kind of tropey to have this constant hostility between Steve and the other characters, like Jonathan and especially Dustin, who he's been so close to. This could be leading up to an even more emotional death, since they haven't been getting along at all, and that'll just make it hit harder. Anyway, so he's angry at Dustin for being so late to the crawl and not offering his expertise that they so needed to maintain their radio connection to Hopper. And now they lost Hopper, and they have to try to find him again in the Upside Down. Like, this was a really important, and this crawl wound up being like even more important than they had anticipated it could be, because of what wound up happening. I mean, they couldn't have known that, though. This seemed like it was just going to be a routine one. Like, they even mentioned how they were going to be searching a zone with grocery stores in it that they didn't even think seemed that likely of a hiding place for Vecna. There's no way they could have known that this night would have gone sideways like this, that Holly would be taken, and all of this, and that 11 would wind up going in after them, and they couldn't have known. So I think he's being way too hard on Dustin, and Steve also needs to kind of man up and learn how to do a little more for himself, instead of relying so heavily on the younger Dustin for all of his tech savvy. But anyway, they bicker, and Dustin feels really bad about about what happened and Holly getting taken, and but he can't really admit that he was wrong. Like, Dustin has trouble admitting that he was wrong. Steve yelling at him to do that, and it just goes back and forth. And Steve, of course, figures out what must have happened, that Andy and his goons, the bullies who have been bothering Dustin, were bothering him again, and he, Dustin, being who he is, poked the bear one too many times, and so they jumped him. And that's exactly what happened. Dustin shouldn't have done that, but he's stubborn, and he was defending Eddie's memory. So, and it sucks to see them fighting like this. I've always loved their friendship. It's really endearing and sweet and so unexpected and unlikely when this developed. Like, who would have ever thought Steve the Hare Harrington would become like besties with this little dork Dustin? So it just was so charming, and I wish they would get over this, but we've seen 4 episodes so far this season, and they still are not on any better terms by the end of episode 4, from what I've seen. So hopefully that changes before something bad happens, because in the trailer for this season, there's a shot where Dustin is like hugging Steve for dear life and crying, and Steve looks pretty stoic. So I don't know. A lot of, since a lot of fans have predicted that Steve could die, and he wasn't supposed to survive season 1 to begin with, it looks from that scene in the trailer like it could be that Steve will wind up having to sacrifice himself to save some of the others, and Dustin will be saying goodbye and crying and hugging him, as we saw in the trailer for season 5. So I hope that's not what comes to pass. I really do, because we know trailers can be deceiving, and who knows what the reason could be for that scene. But just saying, it's pretty likely that this could go down that way. And Steve is so heroic. I mean, he would definitely give up his life to save them. If it came down to it, Steve has shown that he will put his life on the line for them.
What would his hair do? Would it give up its life?
Well, his hair is just gonna have to go along for that burden, I'm afraid. So anyway, before I continue, let me just look over at the chat here for a sec. Let's see. This is already turning out to be a bit longer than I intended, but I'm going to try to pick up the pace. Let's see. Patrick says, I saw his Black Phone movies pretty good. Yeah, Ethan Hawke in that. Yeah, I saw the first Black Phone movie and thought it was surprisingly good. I didn't expect to like it so much. I haven't seen the sequel yet, so I'll probably check that out for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Scarlett Joyce needs to let her baby go for sure. It's time. She's understandably overprotective of Will ever since the trauma of him getting abducted. Let's see. I'm just skimming through the chat here. Yeah, I feel bad for Dustin too.
That hair.
Yeah, that hair. Wasn't that the school snake as well? Yeah, I think the snake did belong to the school that Dustin hid in the bully's locker. I believe so. Barb gets back via the reset. Oh, is that a theory? You think that there's going to be some kind of time reset and Barb will be back alive? Well, that would be some twist. Imagine if that happens. Scarlett said she wouldn't have died because they reset before Will was taken in season 1. Oh, I hope not, though. That would be such a cop out to erase everything. Like it would just. Don't you think it would just cheapen the whole journey we've seen if they just roll everything back to before Will was taken? Oh, I wouldn't like that. Would you?
It would be very Donnie Darko.
Oh, really? I've never seen Donnie Darko. But I need to watch that, I think. Barb dies of embarrassment for her yearbook photo no matter what timeline happens. Yeah.
That middle hair part, all those freckles.
Oh.
Pour one out for Barb.
How did she look like a middle-aged librarian and she's supposed to be a high schooler? I don't understand. Scarlett said, I think Holly reminds Henry of his dead sister. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. All the more reason to target her. Plus, to distract this team of kids. I call them kids, but obviously none of them are kids anymore. Dustin's mega mullet. Yeah, his mullet is, that thing's got to go. It is nasty. It is like a Brillo pad mullet. A Wrinkle in Time makes me think Stranger Things will have a time reset too. Yeah, there are hints to that. The fact that they're using A Wrinkle in Time, featuring it like this. But it doesn't mean that there's going to be a reset. Maybe they're just going to play around with time somewhat, but it won't reset everything. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be something extreme. I definitely think we're going to be doing something related to time manipulation or at least maybe some sort of story walking where they're seeing chapters from the past. I mean, that's kind of what we've already seen happen with this show, with this season. Traveling into people's memories. It's sort of like story walking on From. You're seeing chapters from the past, but you can't change them. I would like that. I don't really want to see changes happen. That could get really messy with time travel in writing. So, like when Max is kind of trapped in Vecna's head. She's like in Vecna's mind right now. She's been able to actually walk through some of his memories. And so that could be a way of sort of seeing time travel happen, but it's just as a spectator and not someone who can actually change it. And we've seen that before on this show, where 11, she actually traveled back in time into the mind of Billy and saw him as a child on the beach with his mom and his dad abusing his mom and stuff like that. She traveled back in time only as a spectator. There was nothing that she could do to change anything. Just gave her information. So maybe it'll be something like that continuing this season. A kind of story walking, again, like in the TV show From. Let's see. Scarlett said, tell Max there's a new Kate Bush recording out, and the only way she can hear it is to get out of the coma. That might work. That might work. Amy said, I'd be trying the cold water trick. Yeah. Put her hand in a bucket of water, maybe. That would be pranking her. Ms. Whatsit from Mrs. Whatsit from Wrinkle in Time. Scarlett said characters in Wrinkle that are supernatural. Mrs. Whatsit, Mrs. Who, Mrs. Witch. Immortal beings who can travel across large stretches of space-time by dematerializing and rematerializing. Tessering.
That's how I do it.
Wow, I had no idea you were that talented. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Some skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for that insight, Scarlett. I haven't read A Wrinkle in Time since I was like 12, so I remember next to nothing from that book. So yeah, thank you for that. There is a Tesseract in episode 4. Oh, okay. Mrs. Whatsit is the youngest of the three beings. She meets the children first and interacts with the most with them. In a past life, she was a star, like a space star, not a fame type star. Oh, a star in the sky. Interesting. There is a villain called It in the book that has a servant called the Man with Red Eyes. It is a large TP disembodied human brain that controls the planet of Camazotz, speaks through its pawn, the Man with Red Eyes, or via telepathy. It is either an avatar or a servant of the Black Thing. Yeah, TP meaning telepathic. The Black Thing is the source of all evil in the book. Okay. And Scarlett said, I feel the red-eyed man is like Henry. It could be the Mind Flayer. Interesting stuff. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think that since A Wrinkle in Time is being featured so heavily, it's going to have strong parallels to the story that we're seeing and a lot of meaning to it. So that, yeah, all of that could absolutely be true. She said Camazotz is the name of a Mayan bat god. Fun fact, one of the episodes has this place in the title. Oh, yeah, Camazotz. That's right. Night, death, and sacrifice is what Camazotz means. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that. Death and sacrifice. I don't like the sound of that for our characters. Okay, but getting back to the breakdown. So, Robin comes up. She gets a. She makes up an excuse to get Will away from his mother so that she can talk to him alone. She's like, oh shit, the flux capacitor is down again, and which is just a fake device from Back to the Future, of course. And silly Joyce apparently didn't see Back to the Future, so she doesn't understand.
Great Scott!
Yeah, she even said, Robert even says "Great Scott" in the scene. It's just funny. So she takes
Marty.
So she takes Will, and she's like, your mom's plan sucks, basically. Even if they miraculously find Hopper, where does that get us? Holly is still missing. Your plan is genius. You got an antenna in your head. Use it. So,
not a great plan.
I think that is a great plan, though. And you may not like her and the way that she goes about her, kind of taking charge of things here, but Will has these abilities. He should use them. Like to help find Holly.
Like a divining rod.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that is a good idea. And she wants him to skip school, play hooky, connect your brain into an interdimensional monster signal, and save little Wheeler. Sure, what could go wrong? So he's on board. And of course, here we have evil government lady getting the surveillance photos of dumbass 11 sitting there with her hood up as if that was going to disguise her properly from the cameras. What a joke. This could have literally just been solved by her laying on the floor of the car, at the very least. I understand there was an emergency situation, and Will said that a Demogorgon was on his way to the Wheelers' house. But she could have at least just laid down on the floor of the car. Is that so difficult? They could have got there just as fast. So anyway, they realized that these photos were taken just 3 hours or so ago, and the government lackey, he says this time is different. This isn't just a typical sighting that we've had of 11 before. She's actually here, meaning she's in the Upside Down right now. So Dr. K's interest is piqued at that. Meanwhile, Hopper and 11 are still hunting down Holly too, and he slows down, claiming that he just has a cramp, just old age. But as 11 approaches, she discovers he's been injured, and it looks like a nasty gash. So they go off, and they take a few minutes for her to take care of the wound. And a couple seasons prior, Max had taught her how to do this. First you clean, then you disinfect, then you bandage. You learn that from skateboarding, all her accidents. So they have a heartwarming scene where they talk about how alike they are. Hopper realizes 11 is a lot like him, even though she's not his biological daughter. She's a lot like him. She's stubborn and she acts on instinct. And in his case, he used to trust his gut and his instinct, but not really thinking as much as she does, thinking it through. And so he's like, basically, you're better than me in reality. But they both do reckless things, and so like he sees himself in her, even though they're not biologically related, and it's sweet. And I think that he probably does at least have influence on her, as a father figure, and meeting her when she was still young enough that he has been able to have an impact on her, I think. And their relationship has always been my favorite of any two characters in the show. Their father-daughter dynamic is just so heartwarming and sweet. I've always loved it. So I liked this scene, even though I was shaking my head, like the whole time, like, you guys are picking now to have a heart-to-heart in the Upside Down with the frickin' Demogorgon on the loose with Holly. And I know, like, okay, they need time to dress his wound and everything, but I think they spend a little too much time with this casual, relaxed conversation. So it's not that realistic in the moment, but it's all right. I can forgive it. I can forgive the show this, because when else? This is the final season, and the action is so intense. There's so much going on. So when else are they going to fit in these heartwarming character moments like this? And if they don't squeeze it in an unrealistic way, even in a dangerous environment like the Upside Down, if they don't do this, then when are they? When are they going to have enough down moments where it's safe enough to have talks like this? They're not. So they've got to fit it in where they can, and I thought it was a really sweet conversation. He warns 11, though, that there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. He saw a lot of brave men die in the war, friends of his, and he talks about how his daughter Sarah was brave, the bravest person he's ever known. And this was a really devastating part of his backstory from season 1, how he lost his daughter to cancer, and we had flashbacks to him in the hospital with her and losing her, and we saw those flashbacks back in season 1, and now once again we circle back and we revisit those. As the series is starting to come to an end, I can see why they're doing that, to kind of just remind us where we came from with these characters and the journey they've gone on. And I think it's a beautiful thing how Hopper went from this broken man, who never healed from his daughter's death, to someone with purpose again because of 11. She gave him a reason to keep going. She filled a void in him. His daughter can never be replaced, but he needed a child to love. He needed a child to protect, and she gave him that. She gave him purpose. So she healed him. I mean, that pain and grief of losing Sarah will never go away, but I mean, look how he's changed. Look how he's grown through being Eleven's father. He's come so far. I mean, in season 1, he was a drunken mess, and showing up to work at the crack of noon all the time, and like just not taking care of himself, and giving up on life, and self-medicating with alcohol. It was really unhealthy. So I just think it's beautiful how we've seen him grow and overcome that prolonged grief that he had never been able to get past until 11 came into his life. And he's protecting her with everything in him. That's why he doesn't want her in there. He's terrified that anything could happen to her. He's terrified of losing 11 too, losing another daughter. And he admits that to her now, that he doesn't want to lose her. So really, really heartwarming moment. Even the fact that he can talk about Sarah now is such growth. He was so in such an unhealthy state in season 1 that he couldn't even acknowledge his daughter's death. He didn't talk about her. He just blocked her out, which is not healthy at all. But now he can talk about her, and it causes pain, but he does it, and that's healing. That's growth. So he tells 11, I don't want to lose you. So no matter what happens now, wherever this blood leads, I need you to do what I say. So she can't be too stubborn and, just reckless. Doing some of the stubborn punk ass things, like as he put it, that he used to do in the past. So it was a cute moment there, but then of course it had to come to an end. They hear a noise and they're off on their way again. Let's see, how far am I now from the end? I think we're getting there. I'm just taking a look here. Oh yeah, we're very close. All right. So we're coming close to the end of chapter 2. Not just yet. We've got a couple more scenes. But before I move on though, let's see. Amy said Donnie Darko is pretty dark but good. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things about it.
It's very good.
And let's see. Doc said, sorry, been on the phone with hubby for over an hour, keeping him company while he drives. He's had a rough few days caring for a friend with cancer. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a brutal thing to deal with. So no need to say sorry at all, Doc. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Anyway, dumbass 11. Anyway, so getting back to the hospital here, we have Will and Nancy trying to convince a doctor to let them see their mom, which I think is just stupid. They should have been allowed to see their mom when she's, at risk of dying of her injuries. I think the policy would be to let the children see their mother. once she's been stabilized, of course, and the doctors have worked on her. She's just laying there. This is a dumb plot device, if you ask me, not letting them just see their mom. But anyway, they say that it's an emergency. They think that their mom knows something about finding their sister, Holly. And the doctor says that I wish I could get you in there, but your mother's recovering from surgery. Her system's still in shock. And beyond that, her larynx is extremely damaged. She wouldn't be able to talk even if she were awake. I mean, yeah, he has a point, but I mean, so what? It's not going to do any harm to just let them see her. I guess you could say if they say something too upsetting, it can be dangerous for a fragile patient. It can make her blood pressure spike, which is exactly what winds up happening. But still, yeah, I mean, he has a point. He has a point that yeah, their mother's in a fragile state. But yeah, I do think that they should have been allowed just to go in and talk to her regardless, even if their mother can't talk back. People go in and see their comatose family members, of course. So then he tells Nancy, finding your mother when you did saved her life. Let's not risk it now. And he pats Nancy on the shoulder and says, "All right, sweetheart," and walks away, which she takes as some kind of patronizing thing, which I think is an overreaction. I mean, all he does is kind of call her sweetheart in a fatherly way. I didn't take it as something demeaning. It wasn't said in a sexist sort of way, but it seemed like Nancy took it that way. Just my opinion. But so then in the van, they're trying to get the signal to Hop, but not having any luck, and instead they come up with some other noise, and they don't know what it is, but it's not Hop's telemetry tag. So they're not having any luck, Steve and Dustin, with that. And then over in the woods, we've got Will and Robin, and trying to see if he could feel any connection to Vecna again when he's in the same spot. And he says to Robin, if your theory is right and my receiver is proximity based, I need to get close to the demo to tap into the hive mind. And maybe earlier when the demo was passing by, it was headed for its monster lair. So yeah, I think he's definitely onto something here. I think he needs to get as close as possible. Proximity seems to be the key. And then they come across a mandala in the woods. Not like a real mandala, but kind of similar. And it kind of, for some reason, it sparks a memory in Will, and he remembers that he heard laughter in his vision. He heard kids laughing and playing. So starting to remember a bit more. Over in the Upside Down, 11 and Hopper, they discover something insane, something that has really perplexed fans since seeing the trailer for this season. And as they approach it, they see it's a gigantic, oozing, disgusting wall of some kind of organic material. And it's unclear exactly how tall it is, how long it is, what the hell it's made of, but it does seem to be alive. And yeah, that's a new thing. We've never seen this before this season. It was featured in the trailer, so it's been the subject of a lot of curiosity, and So who knows? Yeah, who knows what this is going to turn out to be exactly, like, and what is on the other side of it. That is a mystery. And I would say, well, Holly's probably on the other side of it because they find her boot. And they realize that she has been there. And 11 says, maybe that's why I can't find her in my mind. It took her through the wall. That nasty, oozy flesh wall. Pretty imposing. I mean, the camera pans out and you see just how vast this thing is. It is gigantic, and these two are just little specks at the base of it. And finally, we come to the final scene now. We have Nancy dressed up. She steals a candy striper uniform at the hospital, and Will steals a Johnny. So that they can sneak in to see their mom. This is something volunteers at the hospitals used to wear. My mom was a candy striper at one time, and this is a way for them to get in and talk to her. She's pretty battered and just barely conscious now, but she's able to wake up and communicate with them a little bit. She can't talk, but she's able to write, and she wants to know what happened to Holly. She writes Holly. They tell her that Holly's missing. Of course, that causes her blood pressure to spike right away. So maybe the doctor was right not to want them in there. But they tell her that they need her help. They think that there's someone that knows where Holly is, who knows why she was taken and where she is. We just don't know where he is. And we're hoping that you might. And they don't know his name, but they say she calls him Mr. Whatsit. And of course, this sparks recognition in Karen's face. Simultaneously, you have you see Will and Robin showing up at the playground because he thinks that could be what he was connecting to in another of his recent visions when he was seeing the sky spinning. So it's the merry-go-round, right? So we kind of cut back and forth between these two scenes. While we're seeing that, then we cut back to the hospital where Karen writes, teacher saw talking to W. So the teachers saw Holly talking to Mr. Whatsit, and nobody was there. So it was just, and we saw that scene in episode 1, where Holly was just standing there talking to nobody. Will points out, here's this merry-go-round, and the sky was spinning in his vision. So he said, I think I was here during Miss Harris's recess. And indeed, he's right, because as we saw in episode 1, Holly was spinning around on that merry-go-round and looking at the sky, going around in circles, which is what Will saw in the woods during one of his visions. And so not only does he see through the eyes of the Demogorgon, apparently he can see through others' minds too. So Vecna controls the hive mind, which means he's a part of it too. So when he searches for his victims, he invades their minds and he sees what they see. Therefore, Will can see the same thing. So if Will is seeing from the perspective of Vecna, Demogorgons, things like that, then he should also be able to see what they see. And sometimes they see through the eyes of their victims by invading their minds. And that's how he saw through Holly's eyes. And as they're realizing that, so Nancy asks if Holly ever described Mr. Whatsit to Karen, like what he was wearing or anything. She writes down tall vest, pocket watch, and yeah. So then you have this slow reveal, which is so epic. You don't see his face yet, but you see the suit, the pocket watch, and this creepy guy, and Holly just walking off with him, smiling, like completely naive. And then I love how they jump back and forth between these scenes. Like, this was really well edited, the way this all came together. Will says, "What if I was seeing through the eyes of Vecna's next victim? This victim he's been stalking, which means I was seeing through Holly's eyes. And if that's true, that means I was him. I was Vecna."
Vecna vision.
Yes, he had Vecna vision. So he actually got to see through Vecna's eyes as Holly. Again, this could be a huge asset. I think this is going to be a game changer in how they beat Vecna in the end, how this group beats Vecna. Now, unfortunately, though, I don't know if Will make it out alive in the end. He may have to pay the ultimate price, make the ultimate sacrifice, and give up his life in the end. If I had to guess, I'd say at this point, there's a good chance he may not make it out of this series alive to defeat Vecna. So anyway, so Nancy asks Karen if Holly ever mentioned if he had a first name, and then you have the big reveal. She starts to write it down. And Holly asks Mr. Whatsit, "Are the others here yet? You'll save them too, won't you? Save them from the monsters?" He says, "Yes, Holly, don't you worry. I'm going to save your friends. Every last one of them." She says, "And my family? Are they coming too?" And he says, "Then after, I'll save your family too, of course. I have room for everyone here." And boom, there he is. There's the reveal of
Dun dun dun.
Henry, who Vecna used to be, as Karen writes his name down on that paper. Henry. Mr. Whatsit is Henry. Awesome twist. Did not see that coming as a viewer. Really enjoyed that. I like to be surprised. I don't like to predict everything that's going to happen. I really don't. So I thought that was awesome. And the fact that he's planning on bringing all her friends and her family there, I mean, that's unsettling. What is his end game? What are his plans? Why is he bringing them all there is the question. I don't know. I mean, I don't believe everything he's saying. I don't believe that he's going to save her whole family too. He's lying. I'm sure he's lying about that. But I do think that he's telling the truth when he says that he's going to bring her friends there. He's already started in subsequent episodes trying to bring her friends there. So for some reason, he's abducting kids now. The purpose, unclear. Yeah, I'm not sure why he wants to bring more of these kids there, but yeah, it's really sinister. Super interested to see where that's going to go, where this storyline's going to go next. I loved how they revealed Henry. Never thought I would see Henry in this form on the show again. After he's been turned into Vecna, we had only seen him looking like this in flashbacks of when he worked at Hawkins' lab with 11. So yeah, this was a pleasant surprise. This is cool. Absolutely loved that ending, and he brought her into. And of course, as he, I love this, as he sinisterly closes the door, his smile disappears. Just, yeah, turns into that blank stare. And you see that it's his childhood home. That's so, that doesn't look like that anymore. He doesn't look like that anymore. Clearly, this is an illusion. This is not real. This is not, Vecna somehow being restored to looking like himself again, like Henry. This is a projection of Vecna into Holly's mind, or really, Holly has been projected into Vecna's mind. She's somehow deep in the recesses of Vecna's mind right now, and in his memories of himself and the way he used to look and his house. So none of that is real. It's just an illusion. And her actual body is, I'm sure, in the upside down, restrained somewhere. And, same goes for Max. Same goes for Max, as we'll see in subsequent episodes of this show. Max is in a similar state where she's locked away in Vecna's mind and living amongst his memories. And where their actual bodies are, Max and Holly, they're probably in some dark corner of the upside down on the other side of that mysterious new fleshy wall. So yeah, that is the awesome conclusion to episode 2, or chapter 2, that is. Really loved that one. And flesh wall. Yeah, it is one hell of a flesh wall. Scarlett said, "Have you seen Annihilation?" No, I haven't. I haven't. But I'll Google it. Annihilation.
Natalie Portman. Alien. Lighthouse. Omar Isaacs.
Oh, okay.
Resequencing DNA.
Oh, it's a sci-fi horror. Nice.
Based on a book.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, I'll have to look into that one. Amy said, "Pause, Julie," about 12 minutes ago. I don't know what I said, but belated pause then. She said, Scarlett said, "It's kind of like Lovecraftian color out of space stuff. Flora and fauna bonding together in the grossest way possible." Oh, okay. Amy said, "I wonder what is going to break an opening in the wall." Yeah, I don't know. That looks pretty dense and imposing. I thought it might be a liquid. It's definitely oozing liquid. I don't know if that's what you meant, if you were talking about the wall, Scarlett, at that time. But Scarlett said 2 merry-go-rounds, 1 yellow and 1 orange. Oh, right. Yellow at Playground, orange at Henry's. Yes. What is it with these shows we watch all having so many parallels? We have a merry-go-round prominently featured in From, too. Amy said it will probably be Will, I bet. What will probably be Will, Amy? That you think Will is going to die, maybe? Yeah, let me know what you meant by that, Amy, because that was a few minutes ago. Yeah, Scarlett. Yeah, I know that one kid isn't Holly's friend, but I think, in general, he falls under the umbrella of Holly's quote unquote friends. When Henry said he's going to bring all her friends there, like the way people always refer to kids' classmates in school as, all of your friends, that kind of thing. That kid, Derek. Yeah. The bulky bully. Yes. He's definitely both of those things. Yes, that was a mind exploding kind of ending, Justin, for sure. Oh, Scarlett said Vecna needs some child fear to get the sweet power. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe some child fear to power himself up, using the children as batteries of some kind, their fear or something, kind of like, I mean, maybe it's something like the It character from Stephen King, feeding off of children's fear or something. Scarlett said we should watch The First Shadow. It's all about Henry. The First Shadow. Oh, okay. Netflix has a documentary on Stranger Things, The First Shadow, but not the play itself. Oh, yeah, definitely. I want to watch that. I never heard of it. Watching it expands your enjoyment of season 5. Oh, then definitely. I'm going to watch that. I didn't know that existed. Amy said, shoot, I can't remember. No worries, Amy. I'm really sleepy trying to stay up. It's okay. No worries. I just hit the 3-hour mark, and I think it's time for us to wrap it up now. And we covered everything. I think we broke down everything that needed to be broken down in chapter 2, the vanishing of, and so the next chapter will
The
be.
episode definitely reached the climax,
Yeah, it sure as hell did. So the next episode we're going to break down will be chapter 3. Chapter 3, which was called The Turnbow Trap. And I'm going to try to do that Saturday night. If I can pull that off, then I will. The sooner the better, because we've got to get through 2 more of these before the next episode drops. The next episode dump on Christmas. So that's only 5 days away. God damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We are 5 days away from Christmas. How is that possible? So somehow in the next few days, between now and Christmas, we've got to do a live for Stranger Things chapter 3, meaning episode 3, chapter 4, Pluribus episode 8. So those 3 for sure. So, and then I really wanted to do some kind of live on Fallout season 2 episode 1. I don't know if we're going to pull that off. That may have to wait. That one may just have to wait, and we may have to play a bit of catch up, do Fallout episodes 1 and 2 live like later. The next episode of Fallout probably drops Christmas Eve or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, something's got to give here. And right now, my top priority is Pluribus. I'm not going to lie. Stranger Things is second after that. And so we're going to squeeze this in as much as we can, as best we can. So one way or another, we're going to do it. And on top of it, I'm working on a Pluribus scripted video on my ideas and theories leading up to the finale of the show, of the series. I'm sorry, of the season 1. So that's a lot. I'm juggling a lot, plus getting ready for Christmas and watching Christmas movies, and I haven't even completed decorating my tree yet. So it's a lot to manage, plus juggling all my pain. Hopefully we'll be able to pull it all off successfully. It's a hectic holiday season. Once January comes, things will calm down a bit for the channel, at least. Pluribus and Stranger Things will be wrapped up, and we'll just be focusing on Fallout from Academy and Storytime with Doug lives. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff going on, lots of stuff to cover. When it rains, it pours. It's feast or famine, really. We have periods where there's nothing I have any interest in covering, and I think I'll cover a show and I'll be so disappointed by it, like The Institute, and then every awesome show has to drop at once. It's a lot, but we're gonna manage it as best we can and try to do justice to it all. Hey, can't be serious. What's up? just stopping by to show some love. Nice to see you. Shout out to the Koala T Reacts community, Koalaholics. That's where Campy Serious is from. Awesome person. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Every time I show up there, I feel so welcomed in that chat, and Campy Serious is a big reason why. Just so welcoming, and dropping my channel link in the chat over there. It's awesome. If you haven't checked out Koala T Reacts for rap and hip hop content, what are you waiting for? Go check it out. It's hilarious, it's entertaining, and it's a warm and wonderful community of loving people. So you can't go wrong. So thanks for popping in. Scarlett, yes, I'll add the Last Christmas to my Christmas watching list for sure. And yeah, Koalaholics, Justin. I'm telling you, like, if you're into rap and hip hop culture at all, and you like entertaining, funny content too, and you haven't checked it out yet, yeah, go check out Koala T Reacts. Amy says, I really want to see your insights on the new episode of Pluribus, episode 8. Well, thank you so much for the interest, and I am working on it. I've been wanting to make content, like actual, scripted videos with my theories and ideas, from the beginning, but I just haven't been feeling physically up to it. My pain has been out of control for so long, so far out of control, worse than usual out of control. So I just wasn't up to it, but I mean, better late than never. I'm going to do my best and get a video out. So I've already started writing a bunch of notes. I have a lot of ideas that I want to share before the finale of Pluribus. And so I'm going to continue plugging away at that. So watch for that to drop sometime within the next several days, I hope. Yeah, it's hard with my pain. It's been really hard to try to get scripted videos or even live streams done, but I want to do this. I really do. I have a lot of ideas I'm dying to share before the Pluribus finale. So I'm going to get it done. Amy said I slowed down and paused on the whiteboard. Yeah, me too. We did too. Indeed. And we're going to get into that episode. We'll do a live on Pluribus. Maybe Sunday night. Stay tuned. I'm not 100% sure which night we're going to do it. We might do it Sunday night. Like around 10 p.m. Eastern. So just keep the notifications on. Watch for the Discord notifications, because I'll post in there when I have a rough idea of a schedule. It's always subject to change based on my pain level each day right now, and I often have to move the time later, so I apologize in advance when I have to keep doing that. But yeah, I'm gonna get these lives in one way or another, even if it's in the middle of the night. I'm gonna do it. Oh, I forgot that, Scarlett. Yeah, we also need to cover Carol's chapter in her book that Apple TV shared. Yeah, we'll do that too. We'll do that. We should do that next week. Grapefruit juice, poison question next to it. Ooh, yeah, that's right, Amy. That was there. Chostin said a better Christmas comedy to watch is Bad Moms with Mila Kunis. Add that at the top. Watch a trailer. Oh, okay. Never heard of it. Never heard of it, Justin. But I'm going to make a note of that. Bad Moms. Yeah, Bad Moms. Or is it like a Bad Moms Christmas? Because it looks like there's there's Bad Moms and a Bad Moms Christmas. I will add both. Thanks for the suggestion. Oh, Amy saw something on the whiteboard on Pluribus that someone may not have caught. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think her book is a clue too. It probably has clues in it, Scarlett. I need to read that. chapter that was released. I'll read that for sure before I finish the script for my next video, just in case there is any clue in it that I might want to include in my video script. I own the Bad Moms Christmas, the sequel. Oh, cool. I'll have to check it out for sure. All right. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Truly appreciate it, especially with the lack of notice and having to move the time later and later. Sorry about that. Shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much, those of you who choose to watch this, even when it's not live. I really appreciate you so much. And I will try to be more reliable and on schedule. Just managing a really severe health condition, it makes things difficult to stay on point right now. But we're getting things done however we can. Oh, that's awesome, Amy. I just got a 1K on a video I uploaded today. That's amazing. Congrats. That's quite an achievement. And you just started out. That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear it. Keep it up. Keep it up, Amy. And we'll keep plugging your channel. We'll do whatever we can for you over here, as always. That is great. So exciting. And she has a beautiful AI intro I saw that she created. Absolutely gorgeous. So now she can put her talents with that stuff to use too through her channel. And there's her channel link. So check out Amy's channel, Pixie Vine TV. And she does gaming lives. She makes beautiful AI music and videos. So take a look at that and help Amy get her sub count up. So anyway, thanks so much everyone who's participated in the discussion. Really appreciate you guys and those who are just listening and participating in watching the replay. It really means a lot and helps me. The more people do that, the more it does help the algorithm get this video out to more people. So don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Anyone new who might be listening, we did see a few new names tonight, so that was cool. Because I'm creeping ever so slowly to 2K subscribers, and we'll get there eventually. I think I need to make more scripted videos, and that's gonna be the key. That tends to drive the subscriber count, not live streams, I've discovered. So I need to get back to that, and I want to anyway. It's been a long time since I shared theories and episode breakdown analysis. So I'm going to get back to that with Pluribus starting now. And maybe in January, I'll do some videos on Fallout once things calm down a bit. But and after the live is over, yes, if you have the ability, you can hype this video, which also pushes it out to more people. So everyone gets a certain amount of hype ability. I don't know how it works, but you'll see a button. It's a relatively new feature that says hype, and that helps push this out to more people so more people can find it. So yes, if you can do that, that would be greatly appreciated. If you could hype the video and leave a comment in the regular comment section, also helps with the algorithm. Anyway, Justin said, and maybe a few reels for when people scroll, take a few segments. A few reels? What? Oh.
Make a few reels.
Oh, yeah, make a few reels. Yeah, I should do that. I really need to do more of that. Like, I need to clip portions of live streams and make them into easy content videos and reels. I got to get in the habit of doing that. Yes, you can hype, Justin. Yes. It doesn't always appear, apparently, but last time I did a live, apparently the hype button did appear after the Pluribus live. So, yes, thank you for looking for it in advance. And yeah, you only get a certain amount of hype points, and so like you might be out like Amy. I have no idea how it works either. I need to research it, Scarlett, but it's free. It is free. So yes, yeah, it is good to hype the videos you co-host. All right. Anyway, thanks again, you guys. Hope you're enjoying your Christmas season, and hope you have a great weekend if I don't hear from you. But I will definitely be back with at least one more live this weekend. So hopefully we'll see you again before the weekend is out. But enjoy it in the meantime. Have a great day or a great night, everybody. Say goodnight, Carl.
Good night, Carl.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. That's a theory creaking open, baby.
Yo, welcome to the screen where the plot gets bent. Julie B deep dives, not just for content. She don't react, she dissects those threads from the lens. Catching clues y'all missed when the credits end. What you know about freeze framing frames and while you blinking, she building an evidence drum. Got a notebook thicker than the lore itself. In a chat full of nerds with a mental health shelf. Yeah, she sees the glitch, peep the double cross. You just watching TV, she talk to the boss. Every theory a thesis, no throwaway guess. While y'all on season 1, she in season X. Said rewind it, slow it, zoom in, enhance. Julie B caught the symbol in the window glance. While you tweeting what just happened like a clown, she already made a flow chart, color coded breakdown.
They don't die like us. They don't vibe like us. They binge and they bounce. We revive that trust. They skip intros, we every frame. You watch shows, we decode the game. They don't die like us. Nah, they don't die like us.
She cracked Severance before y'all knew it was deep. Predicted the Last of Us deaths in her sleep. When the camera pans, she ain't blinking once. Catch a ghost in the glass, call it theory punch. Watch parties lit like apocalypse nights. Call-ins while they bringing alien rights.
Hey, Julie, I think the trees are spies. Well, I have a spreadsheet that confirms that, guys.
Zoom in, boom in, she moving through clues. Spinning Discord in the courtrooms, Lord of views. Got miles of receipts. Time stands with heat. Every rewatch turns into a Reddit elite. You stuck on the surface, we beneath with maps. Cross-referencing lore with the rector's caps. If your fave show got secrets, don't be dumb. Julie got the chalkboard out in Frums where it's from.
They don't dive like us. They don't vibe like us. They skim the edge. We inside that crust. They zone out, we zone in the pain. You say plot twist, we say nope, chain. They don't dive like us. Nah, they don't dive like us.
What's that?
That ain't a blooper, that's a plot thread. You thought it was a shadow? She thought it was a coded message from season 3. And she's probably right. Step this way if your mind's unbent. Step that way if your theories pay rent. Say Julie B, deep dive queen. Now zoom, scroll, theorize, pull. Ain't no rabbit hole safe once she got the cloud.
They don't